Okay, hello. Today I'm here with uh, what's your name again? Artificial Night Sky or Parz? Parz, right?
Yes,
Yeah, Parz. Did you see the video which I shared in the on the Discord server about?
the Plunderphonics one, right?
Yeah, any thoughts
I
on that?
I haven't seen the video yet, but
Mm.
um, it's interesting that like if from like what the title might like imply is that they're jealous of me, which is interesting because like if anything, I've been watching like stuff like after you left the comment, I've been watching Plunderphonics videos, and I'm jealous of them because they're like aesthetic and their videos are so interesting.
Yeah, yeah, especially when they're doing stuff as a group. Yeah. You must have, yeah, you must have seen. Yeah, you must have seen. For example, their review for Rakuno video was great, I think.
Yeah, that was that video was hilarious. Like just like the idea of it happening is cool.
Yeah. So yeah, I've tried to coax him to come to my Discord server, obviously, as I did with you, but I haven't gotten any response yet. Maybe because I've only got 70 subscribers or something, and my videos are kind of shit. Can't do anything. Uh, I read a bunch of your blogs, Paz, especially, uh, and your one about the major in Ghost in the Shell and about uh, Eight Man Hachima. And I thought that they were kind of about the same thing. Uh, Change, basically, like the idea of accepting change.
Yeah.
Like, did you share those two, like thinking on purpose about it? Or
Um, I mean, I well not intentionally, but a lot of the things I write about are all coming from the same place in terms of like Gonzo blogging a la Digibro kind of
yeah,
thing. So
yeah, we are all just a bunch of Digibro
Digi clones.
yeah, Digiclowns, yeah. And now we are sad, sad that like basically we cloned Digi at a earlier phase, and now we are kind of sad that he has moved on, changed basically.
Yeah.
Yeah, and to be honest, did you were you able to catch any of my review of Ghost in the Shell?
I haven't listened to all of it because it's a longer review, so I will give it a listen, especially if
Yeah.
I'm gonna join into the next discussion of it,
Okay. Okay.
since
So
I'm familiar with it and a lot of Oshi's other stuff as well.
yeah, yeah. By the way, I hope the audio is not too bad because it's kind of I don't know if I would call it a storm, but it's raining pretty hard. Can you hear that?
No, not really. The audio is good actually.
Okay. Discord Discord must be doing its magic and cutting out all the crappy noise. Yeah. Uh, so uh, yeah. I don't know. I really didn't like like the ending of Oragairu. I thought. I mean, I get that. Like the joke in season one was that like the guy basically doesn't get that he's not unpopular. But I kind of felt like it was sort of a betrayal of what it was in the first season for me, at least.
Huh?
Did you like the ending?
Yes, well, obviously, because I was a fan of Yukino, but like in terms of like the whole how it turned out. I mean, like the fact that Hachiman became popular in the first place is kind of like the most unrealistic part of it.
Yeah,
So
I was
like
really annoyed by that. Yeah.
a lot of the fan base, like people who like related to Hachiman wouldn't be able to relate to the fact that he became popular almost out of nowhere. That if it would have panned out like that in real life, he would have joined that club and like nothing really would have happened as a result.
obviously. Yeah, and I mean, can you really blame them though? Because obviously he was written to be a self-insert character, which was
Right.
supposed to be a little bit more down to earth, a little bit more aware, self-aware, and I feel like that was gone by the time when that silly, nonsensical. Uh, I want you to be genuine. Like, give me something genuine. Or, like, whatever the fuck that meant. I didn't really understand that. Like,
So like I think like were you disappointed that the comedy aspect was kind of gone?
uh, yeah, at that, and I kind of liked how in the first season there was a sort of a world building going on. Uh, like each episode would be like they would solve a case. Like there were a bunch of a detective club or whatever,
Oh, okay, yeah.
and then characters who were in the previous cases would show up uh, in the later ones, and I thought that was very neat. But that was totally gone by I think around the second season, and the third I didn't really care about much of anything. As for Yukino's character, uh, obviously, obviously I was in favor of Yukino winning, but getting the MC ball. But the, I just felt like her transformation from Ice Queen or whatever to just a maiden in love was sort of really boring.
Yeah, I
Uh,
mean, like even if I'm a fan of her character, I still think that's kind of a large departure from what she was originally.
yeah,
And even though I'm like obviously Origairu was one of my favorites, like in terms of like what the club actually did, like towards like the second and especially into the third season when they start talking about like the whole like the student council one with like Iroha when like trying to get her to be the student council president, and then later the prom stuff. That like those two arcs are like exactly the same, and they're like really long and uh kind of bullshit. I don't like them that much.
yeah, the way they were trash because I didn't feel like they cared about the prom at all, for example, or the council election. Because like it's kind of hypocritical that like they would bring their personal feelings into the student council. Like after in the first season, they were blaming whatever her name was. Uh, you know the big bad villain of the last arc. What was her name?
No,
In the in the first season, I can't remember her name.
was it
Uh,
Haruno?
not Haruno, uh, the student council vice president or president or whatever was it. They were trying to organize uh, the one that got told off by Hashiman at the end. Uh,
I like her. She doesn't matter. The one who was on
I,
the roof of the first season.
yeah. I was kind of disappointed that she didn't show up again. Uh, but
I think she did. Um, and she didn't change or anything, and they kind of picked on her because of that, if I'm remembering correctly.
uh, there was some guy here taking shelter from the rain, and I think he ran away, unable to take any more of my autism. uh, yeah, as I think I just like uh, basically they blamed her for being selfish, but like and but weren't they also selfish? Like I don't know. I just I don't know. In the novels, it's a lot worse because you still get uh, Hachiman's voice cracking here and there, but I was only able to get around to volume 6 or 7 or something like that. Did you read all of them and the side story novels as well?
I haven't read all of them. I kind of stopped reading light novels for a bit. Like I'm still reading. I have volume. I think it's seven. Um, like laying around, but I haven't really felt motivated to it, especially after the last season that season ended, and I know what happens. I don't want to let it wait a little bit.
Yeah.
But I
By the
personally, oh sorry.
no, you go on, you go on.
I was just gonna say I personally enjoy the light novels more than the anime.
Still there? Not Craig. I mean, Parz, are you still there?
Yeah, I'm still here.
Yeah, it seems that the last 40 minutes have been not been recorded. So I'm sorry about that. Anyway, um, well, what can we do? Uh, let's keep on recording. By the way, uh, Dot Agent, did you just come on to tell us that?
Yeah. I can't stay and talk. As I said, I just thought I would just help you out very quickly.
Thank you very much. Oh,
I'll see you
and
guys later anyway.
yeah, Dash. Yeah, the Dash told us, but uh, I didn't check the chat because I didn't think anyone would comment. Yeah. Anyway, sorry about that, Parz. Are you still there?
Yeah, I'm still here. Don't worry about it.
Yeah. I mean, I'm worried about it because like I was intending to make that my video today, but I guess it can't be helped. I'll just upload it anyway. Well, so that's basically my philosophy when it comes to video making. Just shoot the shit and upload it. Um, anyway, by the way, do you make scripts when you make videos?
Some videos I do make scripts. But some of them I do off the cuff. I did the DJ Sharpnel one off the cuff. I just talked into the microphone and then edited everything afterwards so it could make sense. But the large majority of my videos are with a script.
Yeah, I can't. I just end up stuttering a lot when I'm looking at the script and trying to read that, and something comes to mind or something. Yeah, something like that. I just can't read the bloody script. Something comes to mind when I'm reading it. Something else which I hadn't written in it. So that's why my videos are long rambling messes. Anyway, did you? So you what did you make of what I said about Hachiman and Makoto or whatever? Because that's
in terms of like the resistance to change versus like the overly acceptance of it.
Yes.
I mean, I think well with Hachiman in particular, I think his motivation for being resistance to change was motivated by like some self-preservation type of thing. And perhaps Mokoto's was motivated by a similar thing, like in terms of like self-preservation, but just in a different way.
Yeah, I mean, in a sense, I know like that we are not going to talk about politics, but that whole sort of kind of reminded me of like a lot of the people on our side, I guess my side or whatever, like have a sort of a feeling like that even if change is inevitable, like it kind of feels like sophistry to say that it is necessarily good. That's basically my feeling. Like I don't know. I just don't feel like, for example, Hachiman was a better character by the end, or that like the fact that after Makoto merged with the AI, that like that really was any kind of improvement, really. Okay, now it's now yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I guess trying to construe any change as positive change is not accurate because you can obviously change for the worse. So.
By the way, I would like to thank Dash because he did write in the chat that that Craig bot had died on us, and but unfortunately I didn't listen to him. I think he's listened to us, maybe like he's there in the general chat. Uh, by the way, do you know any other ways of recording videos? Like recording audio like this? No.
Well, okay. I know like people who like they record podcasts and whatnot, like via Discord. They would each have to record their own audio and then sync them together, which can be a pain in the ass.
Yeah, and to Dash, yes, if Craig dies in the future, please do start Craig again, because until I find some other way to get this bloody thing working. Uh, do you have any topics or yourself in mind, which you wanted to talk to me about? Like, for example, about the latest video which I made, the response video which I made to you.
Oh yeah, the response video going back and forth. I
Yeah.
mean, I think we kind of exhausted the topic, and it started to get further and further away from the original thing towards the end. But I think your last video was able to put some good closure on it in terms of like sort of bringing the discussion to a close about like otaku hobbies and the vanguardism that you brought up.
Yes. I don't know. I mean, what I was kind of worried about it is that, like, a lot of criticism sort of feels like it's going in circles, isn't it? I mean, not just this. Like, I don't know, like, after you have like reviewed 10 light novel adaptations or whatever of uh, high school light novel adaptations, like, doesn't it feel like your criticism about them like tends to be the same, something like that? Haven't you ever been worried that like, it's true that there's an unlimited amount of anime and stuff to review, but like that basically you will kind of end up with the same conclusion, like no matter what you watch, like it isn't really changing you in any way. The things we are watching, like, you're not really changing. You see, can you understand what I mean?
Yeah, I guess because I don't think like this art is supposed to be like, it's not intended that you consume all of it. At least in like the like in the sense it was made, because like the otaku are the outliers in terms of like watching hundreds of anime, that you start to see the same messages appeared over and over and whatnot. Like, I think what you were saying, that yeah, I don't know. It's like
Yeah,
yeah,
I mean, so I mean, I've heard this. There's this guy called Argent. He's sort of like on the same quote unquote side as us, and one of the things he likes to say in his reviews. Did you see, for example, my video comparing Argent's review of Sword Art Online to the one by Digibro?
I haven't seen that one yet, but it interested me.
Yeah, it's not really
Because
good. Yeah, go on.
well, because like, despite being like a huge Digi fan back in the day, I am still ruined credibility, but I am still somewhat a fan of Sword Art Online. So I was interested in seeing like two different takes of it.
Yeah, so basically, this Argent guy is he's basically on the reactionary right or whatever, and for him, he basically gave a completely positive review of Sword Art Online, because like, um, uh, basically, this is like what relationships are supposed to be, or some take like that, and that sort of made me think like like obviously, like these people are so different when it comes to their views, but but even in Digibro's review, one of the only good things which Digibro had to say, if you remember, was about the relationship between Asuna and Kirito. And basically, what I finally did in that video, I just went into some. I thought like maybe these, if these people like like maybe like it's all a lap. So uh, the idea of like being able to laugh that in a uh, in a virtual reality. Like maybe that might be the solution. So that was basically the video. Like it wasn't really that good.
I
But
mean,
do you get? Yeah.
that's an interesting point though, because I'm not sure how far you made it into SAO, but like at the end of Alicization, I think it's like War of Underworld season 1. Um, what's her name? Shion goes on this like this speech talking about how like the people playing the game don't see it as a game and whatnot. So like in terms of like LARPing, I mean, I don't think they started off LARPing, but then they realized that it's just like they are just themselves kind of thing. That it's not really escapism in like the purest sense, because like once the whole like death game thing started to appear, and like they weren't able to LARP anymore.
Yeah, that is exactly, by the way, what Dot Agent said to me. Like when I told him that, like perhaps, like if we are going to get our reactionary utopia or whatever, like perhaps it's not going to be in real life or whatever. It's going to be in a fucking virtual reality video game where we can all like play out our fantasy of being nice in shining armor or whatever, and saving princesses, uh, and being I don't know, something like that. And to this, he said that to this Dot Agent said that, well, like even if that technology was there, like you, like you wouldn't be able to replicate it there because the stakes would be like too low. Like I mean, just look at VR chat. It's basically I mean not all of it, but a lot of it is just people pretending to have sex.
Yeah.
It's not the best I don't know reactionary utopia or whatever the fuck it is that Argent was getting at.
Yeah,
And
I mean, like in a couple, like it was almost immediately that VR chat just became like people with anime girl avatars. So maybe that's our
yeah,
future.
yeah. So basically, the only reason why that Sword Art Online might have seemed like the reactionary ideal, like part of it is obviously because like it's basically a fantasy setting with swords and whatever, and so it borrows a lot of uh, I guess superficial stuff from feudalism, and because a lot of these people on the reactionary right view things like the Holy Roman Empire and other stuff like that to be the ideal or whatever. It's all gone down from there, something like that. So part of it is that as well. But the main thing I think was that like there were actual stakes, at least in the first season. Like when like they would die uh, if they didn't get out of like if they died in the video game, they would die in real life. You know the quote.
Yeah.
Yeah. Uh, Anyways, so that was basically my video on that, comparing the two stakes. But because I kind of felt like although like they disagree on so many other things, they would disagree on so many other things, and obviously Argent probably wouldn't approve of Digibro's lifestyle choices, but uh, how both of these people uh, liked the relationship between Asuna and Kirito and thought that it was good. Well, Digibro obviously didn't think that it was good all the way, like because Digibro thought that it was a chauvinistic that uh, uh, basically Kirito had to save Asuna, whereas from Argent's perspective, that is how that's how like that it's that's the right way it's supposed to be or whatever. Disagree with that or agree with that, it doesn't matter. But yeah, that was basically comparing those two takes. Uh, by the way, why do you like Sword Art Online? I mean, that's a fair question, isn't it?
Yeah, it is a fair question, and it's a question I ask myself as well. Well, I mean, the easy answer is that it was the first anime I watched. But like, I guess like over the years, like the show has definitely had its ups and downs, more downs than ups. But like I got into the like the light novel and whatnot. And the light novels, I mean, I'm not going to say it's great or anything, but it's pretty decent. And like a lot of the problems that are often brought up regarding the series are attempted to be mended later on in the light novel. That Kawahara definitely tries to like you can definitely see he's trying uh, to mend some things, but oftentimes he ends up falling back into the same uh, like the same stylistic trappings that he finds himself in, like all the way back in like the first volume. Like I had intended to uh, write a criticism of Alicization because it starts off really good. Like
Oh
the
yeah, yeah.
world building is pretty good, but by the end of it, Kirito just becomes a god again and kills the final
Yeah.
boss in like one hit. It's like you have all this build up, and you're doing so well, and then you just fall back onto your laurels once again.
Uh, yeah.
It's
I think.
frustrating.
Yeah, yeah. It is, and it is. I also like when I started when I watched Sword Art Online. Um, I fully intended to like it, but I was unable to like it. Especially like I mean, I didn't really hate it that much. I mean, I feel like Digibro in his review was basically like playing the angry video game character. Really,
Yeah,
like his review felt very like disjointed. Like he was like just complaining about stuff. Like there wasn't like really a main point going through the whole review. Like it just felt like a bunch of separate complaints just put together in no particular order, and so basically just a rant. What the fuck was I talking about? Sorry, what was I talking about?
we were you were saying how when you were
Oh,
watching sort of
oh
online.
yeah, yeah. Oh no, I remember. So I really couldn't. I don't really dislike or hate Kirito's character, but I just felt like that he was too bland, really. And but that kind of changed just one point in the story, which was when it got to the first part or whatever, or first season. I don't know what the fuck of Alicization or whatever. Like it's divided into two parts, isn't it?
Yeah,
Uh, yeah, the first part where like he was going with Yujeo, who like he had more chemistry with than any of the women in Kirito's club of rejected women, and even more than Asuna, I think.
yeah.
There was more chemistry between Yujeo and Kirito. I also found the world building interesting. Other than the fact that like Alice's name like coincidentally just ended up being Alice. There was nothing cringeworthy other than that. Like Alice in the underworld or whatever shit like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Other than that, I also liked the character of the administrator, the Pontifex administrator. I
Yeah.
mean, talk about feudal laughing. Uh, yeah. Uh, and yeah, I also liked how like they actually went. Like they actually had to go like through several levels. What are your thoughts on Sword Art Online Progressive, by the way?
Um, I actually haven't read it yet. Uh, though, like I know it's getting a new anime series, and I know that it's Kawahara essentially going back, and I'm not sure if he's necessarily retconning, but he's like retroactively trying to fix some things, right?
Hmm. I think it's going to be more from Asuna's perspective. Personally, I thought that Asuna was kind of bland as well. Like that both
I
Kirito
agree
and
with that.
Asuna, both Kirito and Asuna are kind of bland. Shion, I don't know. I kind of liked her in-game character. Basically, that's it really. The her character design. I don't know why some people like Asuna's character design when there's Shion, but whatever.
It's kind of
Uh,
generic, if you ask me.
who is generic?
Asuna.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't understand what Kirito liked in her either, to be honest. I don't know. What do you make of that?
Like just like the perfect GF kind of thing.
Yeah, I didn't want to say that, but yeah. Basically, a guy without a yeah. What else? Yeah. Well, the rain is not letting up anyway, so let's talk some more. What about Makoto from Ghost in the Shell? What did you make of what I said that it didn't really make any sense that like she wanted to just merge with this artificial, like she just seemed bored to me, like, oh, I'm so bored, I'm like whatever, so I'm just going to possibly completely destroy my personality by joining with this murderous AI. Yeah. So,
I mean, I guess throughout the talking about the movie 1995 in particular, right?
yeah.
So like she didn't. Well, her like personality was based on the fact that she thought she was human, but she starts to realize that she might not necessarily, like, even though her body is a cyborg, uh, her brain is still human, is what I mean. But she starts to realize that, like, wait, maybe my brain is cyborg this entire time. So it's kind of like an identity crisis.
Yeah, I think Bartow was right. He was normal. He was rational. Whereas Makoto was just being a drama queen, like I don't know, like a
Yeah.
silent emo, fucking nonsense.
She's definitely way more emo in 1995.
Yeah. By the way, I was intending to watch the whole, all of the stuff made by about Ghost in the Shell after watching the first film. But after watching the second film, I thought that like it isn't really worth it. So what did you make of the second film? Like it
Okay,
sort of
so
put me off the whole thing, really.
yeah, I mean, I've also watched Innocence. It's, I mean, I like Bato as a character, obviously, like most people do. Um, and in Innocence is just a lot of philosophical rambling and like just speaking in quotes and stuff. And like I hate the word I hate the word pretentious, but it kind of comes off as that in terms of just, you know, like every
Yeah.
character talking in a very idealistic way.
I don't know. It just felt like they were just fucking quoting philosophers or whatever, while
Yeah.
there was this CGI shit in the background. And oh look, how scary! Sets dolls are so scary. Like just the fucking there are children in them or whatever, but like they're killing people. Come on.
I thought it
Um,
was. I had hopes for it because the idea of um, like these sex dolls gaining some sort of like like ability to think for themselves kind of thing would sounds really interesting. But it didn't do anything with that.
yeah, to be honest, I don't find that idea to be that interesting anyway. Like, okay, if these sets dolls like get their consciousness, then like or whatever, just get some sets dolls which do not have consciousness, which have like a lower tech or whatever. Come on, it's not that complicated. It's not such a huge moral dilemma or whatever. Of course, if they have human consciousness, it's wrong to use them as sets dolls. So like or whatever. Like you don't need to be a genius to like think that.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think I'm not sure if you've seen. There's this other weird OVA called Malice at Doll. It was written by Chiaki J. Konaka of Lane fame, and it kind of does the same thing. It's this weird CGI like FMV OVA from, I think it's the late 90s, but it kind of does this idea of what I thought Innocence was gonna do, in terms of like the whole sex doll thing.
What did it do?
it explores like the main girl is kind of she's this she's a sex doll and like or like a sex prostitute AI thing, but she starts to gain the ability to think for herself, and throughout the series it's like um kind of progressing through this idea of like going all the way down the other end of the spectrum of like being indifferent to the entire thing to being really adamant against it.
To be honest, I with series like that, I feel like, and Lane as well, for that matter, and even Ghost in the Shell, the 1995 movie as well. It feels like a lot of scaremongering about technology. To be honest, that's
Yeah, kind of.
yeah. I just like I don't know. I mean, like, is this uh, fucking cheap Chinese phone like so scary or whatever? I'm supposed and like all of the predictions, it doesn't make any sense. For example, that it goes in the shell, that it's such a destitute place. If it is such a high tech place, like it just sounds like some Malthusian nonsense about like poor people having too much children or something like that. Uh, Ironically, kind of reaction in it, I guess.
Have you seen Standalone Complex?
No, no, because I thought that it was just going to be like just a bunch of like police chasers and like just a police show. That's what the impression I got from the trailers and stuff I have seen of it. Is it good?
Well, I have mixed feelings about it because a lot of what I enjoyed about Oshi's take in 1995 was like the philosophical aspects of it and the more, I guess, traditional cyberpunk aesthetic. But like Standalone Complex takes it like takes a lot of that um, and like brings it back a little bit, and it presents a much more realistic, I guess, quote unquote realistic depiction of what cyberpunk might be, and it's just uh our normal like quote unquote real world, but with cyborgs and stuff. So I don't know. It'd just be interesting to hear your take if you were
To watch it, okay.
yeah, if you would watch that.
Okay, I'll put it on my to watch list. Or I'll watch it. Though I was it after seeing that shit show, which was the second film. I really, and after reading the manga too. Uh, I mean, I don't have anything against the manga. In fact, I think it is probably better than the anime in certain respect. I mean, the film. Uh, like it doesn't take itself, like there's a lot of humor in the manga, like and fan service, and I thought that like it showed that like you don't like, really have to like have this like grim dark creepy shit about technology in order to have like a proper analysis of it. Like you don't need to like have this nonsense, creepy nonsense for its own sake. Like I also kind of felt like even in Perfect Blue, like there was stupid scaremongering about the internet or whatever. But not as badly as in Lane, but you know,
Yeah.
yeah.
I was just interested in like to hear from your perspective, being someone who has read the manga, because from what I understand, people who are fans of the manga tend to enjoy Standalone Complex a bit more because like
I see.
there is like more lighthearted moments. Like the Bato you see in Innocence is a completely different Bato than what you see in Standalone Complex. He's a much more like down to earth character who talks like a human, and you know, and like there's the Tachikoma, which everybody loves. So
What the fuck is that? Higashikama.
oh, the blue robot guys.
Oh yeah, I've seen the bloody things. Yeah. I think they're in the manga as well. Yeah, I just but I mean, it's not that like the manga is perfect either. Like for example, like like some of it felt like reading an American comic, which if you have read American comics, you would know that like a lot of them are like fucking illustrated novels. Like they have text bubbles which are full of so much text
Yeah.
that you start to wonder why the fuck is this a comic to begin with? Like, if you wanted to write a novel, then write a bloody novel. And I did get that feeling with the Ghost in the Shell manga a little bit.
I think I
But
remember seeing that in. I think Digi did a video about that a while back.
did he? Oh, okay. Because one of the things I like about manga really, when as opposed to comics or whatever, is that like it's not like you don't feel like there's one guy like standing with his hand pointing somewhere, like standing still, giving a long speech or whatever. There's actually some movement.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's not some. I must admit, I did like just skim read some of it. Like, what the fuck was the name of the mangaka anyway for Ghost in the Shell? Shiro or whatever.
Masamune Shiro, I think.
Yeah. Like he goes into some autistic detail, like with footnotes and whatever about like, oh, look at this cool gun design which I came up with. Okay, yeah, that's cool and all that. Okay,
Respect to autism.
yeah, I guess so. Yeah, but at the same time, like, if you just wanted to like make some concept art, then just make some concept art.
Yeah, right.
Um, like for example, I watched some reviews and like they were praising like those like small fucking oh god, my mind has gone blank. I can't remember the English word for it, but suitcases.
Footnotes?
Yeah, suitcases. Sorry.
Okay.
If you can remember in the film, like there were those small suitcases that like when Makoto assassinates the sleazy diplomat at the start of the film, like you probably don't remember it. That's the point, really. Like those suitcases turned into machine guns, and like I watched a review that was praising it for that. But like I'm like, okay, yeah, sure. You see, it just feels like it doesn't really matter. But it's like, okay, you can brag about it, but it doesn't really matter. Or like even in G.R.R. Kada's review, I remember a long time ago that like he was praising that scene where Makoto's hands get torn away and the fucking robot with legs, I don't know, or tank with legs, I don't fucking, I don't understand why you would make a fucking tank with legs, but like it shot some bullets at the tree of life, and like it just I don't want to. It's not pretentious. Like it looks cool, and that's good enough. But
yeah, I guess that's
yeah.
that was one of the reasons why I was turned off by Oshii stuff, because like I had seen, like when I was much younger, I watched Ghost in the Shell 1995, thought it was boring. Watch Angel's Egg, thought it was boring.
I still think it is kind of cool.
Yeah, I'm not. I haven't returned to Angel's Egg recently. I mean, it would seem like you have to be in a very specific mood for that kind of thing, but it's a lot of nothing, in my opinion.
Is Todd Agent listening to this? Let me check.
I don't think he is.
Ah, shit. You should have heard that. Now I'm finally not alone, because like everyone else in the fucking Discord server is like, oh, she is so great or whatever.
I do enjoy Oshii, but like I still haven't wrapped my head around the Angel's Egg, despite watching like demos video and stuff.
Oh, I mean, it's just that I know, like from my understanding, it's just that like he suddenly started tipping his fedora, and like he needed to make like a it's not that bad because like he's Japanese, so it's okay, but it's just kind of felt like he was writing fan fiction about the Bible or whatever. Oh, like what if the fucking dog never came back, and okay, whatever, who cares?
Yeah. I have seen one of his, I think his debut film actually was Urusei Yatsura movie 2, Beautiful Dreamer. It's like the
Oh, yeah,
only it's the only Urusei Yatsura film people watch. That one's pretty good. I enjoyed that a lot.
Rumiko Takahashi apparently was like throwing a shit fit about it. Apparently, that Mamoru Oshii turned her like precious romantic comedy into something else. Uh, I don't
It
know.
was all a dream.
Yeah, I've tried watching Urusei Yatsura because I've watched Ranma half or whatever, 1 or 2 or whatever, and I've watched My Sonic Goku, and I tried to get through all of Inuyasha, but that's not possible to do. Unfortunately, it just gets too fucking boring after a certain point. Have you watched any of those shows by Rumiko Takahashi?
I want to watch My Son Ikoku.
It is
Like
good, but
I
yeah,
yeah, I mean I just have it sitting on my hard drive just waiting for me to get my ass around to watch that.
it is good. But you must know we are talking about Rumiko Takahashi, so
Yeah.
you're going to have like a 10,000 different quote unquote misunderstandings before there's any progress uh, between like the couple really. And but it's good. There's a good MILF, and yeah, it's good content for the entire family as well. Uh, as for Anma, I highly advise you to watch like just the first season because afterwards, as I said, it's Rumiko because it starts off as a sort of there's a romantic comedy thing, but there's also like a shonen thing as well. I've never seen it done that well, like a romantic comedy with a shonen aspect. Like the protagonist kind of like learns new techniques or whatever, and levels up, or like it's actually kind of creative. Because I guess Rumiko Takahashi was trying to sell something both to boys and girls. Also, it's set in contemporary Japan, just like my Sonic Goku, I guess. But uh, and maybe I'm just speaking out of nostalgia because like I watched it back when I was a kid. Did you watch any like anime on TV when you were a kid? Was there any anime on TV?
When I grew up after the whole Toonami thing, and I never was like a Dragon Ball person or a Big Three person. I did watch Speed Racer, which is Mako Go Go in Japan. It was like this old 1970s, I think.
I watched the
Tatsunoko.
film. Yeah, I watched the film, but there was an American film I think about it. But
The
based on it.
the Wachowskis. I think they did
Yeah,
one.
but
That's the one. Yeah.
and I've also seen a bunch of like autistic looking clips, like where the protagonist looks like a sadistic fuck. I don't know.
Yeah.
Who just wants to win at any cost. I don't know if I don't know if he's like that in the series as well. Yeah, I did you watch any other anime when you were a kid?
That was all I watched when I was a kid. And like I said, it wasn't until sort of online much later that I actually started to get into anime.
Yeah, in my case, like because I grew up in Italy, and in Italy back then, anime used to be very popular. So like there was anime like on TV every day. Like I used to watch Yu-Gi-Oh, Beyblade, yeah, that's that, and other shit like Detective Conan, Dragon Ball, obviously, and a bunch of other shit, and the world masterpiece theater stuff like Anne of Green Gables and Heidi. It was really fun. I must say, like actually watching anime on TV. It's not the same thing as like it's not really the same thing as like watching it uh, online really because like like every day like coming after school thinking of like oh like I'm going to catch that episode, the next episode or whatever. Yeah, but
That's always seemed cool.
yeah. Yeah, but it also sucks that like if you miss an episode, like you don't know what the fuck is going on sometimes, because like anime is episodic. A lot of anime is episodic, you know. No, not episodic. Like the opposite of that. So what's the opposite of episodic?
Like just a continuous story, I guess.
Yeah, I think the term for that is serial maybe, I don't know. Uh, like the term serial fiction, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
I just think it's interesting how other countries would get like they get anime on TV and stuff.
Oh, and
Especially like
Lupin the Third as well was really popular.
I know someone else, or like I used to know someone else online who lived in Germany, and growing up they had like not like what you would see on Toonami, but like weird stuff like Mermaid Melody or something like that, and
Oh
they
yeah,
also
yeah,
had like World
yeah,
Masterpiece Theater, the stuff that
yeah.
you would
I
never
used to
see
watch.
on
Yeah,
stuff you
yeah.
would never see in the US.
Yeah. I bought all of the. Well, my sister and we bought all of the Mermaid Melody DVDs, and like I have a fucking mountain of. And I like of Dragon Ball DVDs because like there were only like 3 episodes in one DVD. So yeah, and yeah, but like all of it was dubbed in Italian as well, and I imagine that in Germany too. Like it's not like they would watch it with, and it was done pretty properly as well. And like a lot of anime in Italy anyway, like they would all like get their own original English opening, which was always pretty good as well. The opening song. So like look up the opening song for Lupin the Third. Just write Lupin the Third OPITA for Italian. Or even Dragon Ball. Yeah, I don't know if Sailor Moon had a separate opening because I didn't really watch Sailor Moon back then. But yeah, so I don't know. Like, do you still speak to your German friend?
I mean, I mean, I still have contact with them. I don't really talk with them as much anymore. But
I see. I see. By the way, like, why do I hear all these dark things about Discord? I thought that it was just a stupid meme, like of like some people like going to some servers and like it's oh look, all Discord mods are just pedophiles or whatever, some shit like that.
I think that's people who go into like public servers and stuff. That's not to say like private servers are perfect, but like there's still going to be drama no matter where you go, unfortunately. But I mean, I think it's just giant public servers or whatever, which I've never been into, and I think most people will never go into because they're just a clusterfuck.
I see. I wonder what the hell that white hand was on about. Hopefully
It
nothing
was,
like that will happen.
I think it was his story about just being on Discord and how Discord was like it was bringing out the worst in him and his friends at the time. Which I mean, like I said yesterday in the chat, but like this is coming from people who would like all of us would go on image boards and stuff and like talking about how bringing up the worst in people and but still going onto image boards is kind of hypocritical, I guess.
I see. I mean, I don't know. I really, to be honest, even though like I'm speaking, like I know about all this shit, I'm just a new fag as well. Like I've only been on the image boards since 2018 or something. God, how long has it not been recording?
I know I saw it. I was actually in the channel this time, so I saw it the second it
Yeah,
popped up.
yeah. The problem is that like I'm outside with my phone, and if I keep my screen on, then it's going to fucking demolish my phone's battery in no time. Yeah. Gosh. Look, Digibro. I think I've talked about Digibro with almost everyone, like who is on the server. Like even if like they came like from a completely different corner of the internet, like they somehow like knew about Digibro as well.
Yeah, I think that's interesting. Because like a lot of these these NEETs or weird hikikomori type people all like somehow knew about Digi no matter where they were.
Yes, that is what I was trying to kind of explain to Quadsi, who was on the chat, like on the audio chat before, that there's this idea on that's I think it's a silly idea on the reactionary right that about violentnism or whatever that uh, but yeah, it's just some cringy stuff. But basically, my point was that both of these camps are kind of recruiting from basically the same demographic, which is why I like come across people uh, like I said something like whether you go to a far lefty pole or whatever server and you ask a question like how many of you have watched anime or how many of you have played Dungeons and Dragons, or if you do the same thing on Paul or like a server on that side. In both cases, you're going to find out that a high proportion of people are going to answer yes to those questions, and like you can do that like with a lot of other things, which basically means that like they're basically the same people.
Yeah, it's interesting,
Yeah.
like how you brought up you were mentioning earlier with Argent and Digi's sort of online reviews.
Yeah. Need power needs rise up. Okay, beta revolution now. Okay, what next? Yeah. I do know some old memes. I mean, it's not that old, I guess. Have you seen that copy paste by the Neckbedia channel or whatever? Did you watch that?
No,
No.
I don't
Yeah.
think so.
Yeah, because they're like they just read a copy paste stuff, creepy paste stuff or whatever. It's one of those channels, And there's one about the fucking beta pricing or whatever. And
Okay. I think I know that from my R9K days. I don't know the channel, but I know the copy pasta.
so, yeah, I was kind of. So do you know the punchline in that one, right?
Yeah.
I kind of found it very funny when the supreme gentleman suddenly showed up. Yeah. Anyway, gosh, my hands have turned into fucking ice. Quats is typing something. What is he typing? Oh, okay. Alright. Thought he would say something else. Uh, who is listening anyway right now? Oh, is Quetzy there as well? Great, he's there. Yeah, and there she's listening as well. Like, I didn't know how I like to say his name. Like how when I started recording videos responding to him, I was like, how am I supposed to like read your username? And like apparently it's dash. It's not dash, it's just dash. Do you know any other people who would be willing to talk with me like this?
Not particularly. I mean, you're asking someone with no friends, and so like I don't really know too many other people online. Like I'm sure there are other smaller YouTube channels you can coerce people into joining.
Yeah. I guess make a fucking 100 response videos and they might come on. Yeah. How the hell did I find your channel anyway? Did you find my? I found your channel.
It was probably due to the Digi retrospective.
Oh yeah. It was because of that, and it was because of that anime snob. Because I think that anime snob like took a bunch of clips from you like just to shit on Digibro or whatever.
Yeah, the whole it was like Digibro's ruining a generation of young men or something.
Yeah, I think that's another interesting character. That anime snob. What do you make of him?
I think he's a necessary evil.
Why
Like
is he necessary?
I've
Yeah,
I've never really been like I've never watched this stuff, but from I think it kind of serves as like I guess someone to keep Digi in balance. Because because maybe people are I guess like a lot of people want to criticize Digi because there's a lot of things to criticize, or there was a lot and still is a lot of things to criticize him about. But like no one really had the audience, I guess, or the clout to try to take him on. Because if you would see someone like make a critique of Digi, then you would just have like the Digi fanboys come and protect them.
yeah, yeah. I think. Yeah, I mean, not just with Digi. I mean, I think that Digi and Snob are kind of more similar to each other than they would admit. Uh,
Yeah,
they,
I've seen your video about that.
what did you make of that? Do you
I
think
personally, I mean, I think it's I like to I think it's kind of the same thing because uh, despite them having like I mean they're just coming from a very similar place is what I think.
Yeah, it's like I don't know. I think I mentioned in that video like that anime stop like literally made a fucking video where he was comparing himself to a fucking shonen protagonist saving them anime community or something. And that's something that only he would do. I do not think that he means necessarily ill to Digi or anyone who he criticizes, and I think that his criticism often have a point, even though he's just gloating. It's not it's not like he's doing it out of necessarily goodwill, but what he's saying is often true. Like he just likes to like whip up the fucking fanboys for whatever latest shonen shit gets popular, something like that. Like like I don't know, like he has been like making non-stop videos about the ending of the Attack on Titan manga, basically dabbing on them and like saying like I told you so, like it was going to be shit. Uh, all the mystery bots shit, or whatever, something like that. But what do you make? Like, have you watched enough of that anime snob to make anything of his criticism of anime in general?
Like I said, I never really watched this stuff. Um, I mean, I know someone. One of my old real life friends used to watch Snob, and would say stuff like, "Oh yeah, you know, once you get past a certain point, like, he has some good points to say, and his like his analysis is pretty good." But I can't, uh, I don't know, I cannot speak on that.
Yeah, it is. Unfortunately, he's not fucking bothered to make an analysis. He, for the most, like, I think he made a video around a year ago. I think, or maybe earlier than that, where he said that he has basically like a run out of things to say about anime, and like I think he has made more than 3,000 anime videos, but like most of
Jeez.
them are yeah, but like they're mostly only like around 3 or 4 minutes each. So yeah, his videos. And but he has written quite a few reviews as well. I think he has written not remember how many, but a really huge amount of reviews as well on his anime database. If you have heard of that site, it's
Yeah,
like
I'm familiar with that. I have an account there.
yeah, look for that anime now because like I
Yeah,
think he
I've stalked his account and because it's impressive seeing like just like the kind of takes he has being someone who has seen so much fucking anime. Like it has more
yeah
perspective than like most people do.
yeah but like at the same time I don't think he's an otaku or something like that. I mean, I don't think he would call himself as such, and I don't think I could call himself. I could call him that either. What did you make of that? Would you consider him to be an quote unquote otaku because he has watched and reviewed so much anime?
I mean, he definitely, he's seen a lot, so he clearly does like the medium. But as for calling himself an otaku, I don't think he would.
What would you?
I mean, I don't think I would, because there has to be calling yourself an otaku implies that that you have I guess like for this, like I guess like an autistic attachment to anime just for the sake of it being anime, which I mean I guess he kind of does have if he's still watching it after this long, but it might not share that same I guess that passion. I guess I'm not sure. I mean I haven't seen much of Snob, so I don't want to
Yeah,
say things that aren't true.
yeah. Basically he has he has what he likes to call golden standards, and he believes that like all anime needs to follow it, and that like anime has gone to trash or whatever, something like that. Because now it has all become, I don't know, fucking moe and isekai or whatever. And basically that the average anime fan basically ends up being someone like Digibro. Though of course that anime is not being itself is someone like Digibro. But that
It's
doesn't.
interesting that you bring that up, because I mean I think on Snob's AniDB profile, he mentions that he's been watching anime since, was it like the 80s or something like that. He's been into anime for a long time, and I was thinking about this the other day alongside continuing to think about your point of will I ever get tired of anime? And I was just thinking that anime is continuing to evolve, obviously, that perhaps in like 20 or 30 years anime will be completely unlike the style that I'm like attuned to right now. In like like the character designs have evolved over time and stuff, so maybe in like 30 years it'll be completely different, and I might go completely down the same road that Snob has in terms of thinking that anime should have been like how like a certain way.
I mean, I already kind of do feel like that about the early 2000s, something like that, 2010s, before 2010. I do sometimes feel like that. Like a lot of, I don't know, the animation after it became digital, it looks a bit like an over polished third. But
It looks too
maybe that,
shiny.
yeah, it does look too shiny, and like the pretty colors as that anime snob likes to like that was his big criticism of Digibro, that Digibro is all about the fucking pretty colors, and like there was a time when like Digibro was suddenly into all the anime, so there was this like a fan theory on his channel of like people saying that Digibro is like no, not Digibro, sorry that snob is Digibro from the future or something like that.
That's possible, but not so much now. Not so much now.
Not now, but back then, do you remember like there was a time when he like started like reviewing more obscure anime, which wasn't necessarily moe stuff, or as Snob would call it, moe shit.
Yeah, I can see that. I think maybe I think Digi just presented, especially during the Digibro days, presented himself as someone who was really into this moe shit and like loli stuff. But he might not necessarily have felt as strongly as the ideas he presented.
Yeah.
Like kind of playing a character.
Yeah,
Because
I
he
mean,
mentioned that in he mentioned that in his old ass anime cast, the moe episode, where he talked about how he felt he had to be like a bastion of moe because like a lot of people didn't like it at the time, and it was like, oh, moe's killing anime. So he was the contrarian that had to protect it.
yeah, I mean, I think Snob is, I don't know. I mean, I've never fucking seen him drop his character. Like, I've seen him say that, like, it's a character, but I've never fucking seen him ever drop his Snob character. Like even if you talk to him on Facebook, like, or else, like he has like that, like, uncouth sort of like looking down on you like you're a fucking snob, like a pleb. Like he's literally calling like everyone plebs. Yeah. Uh, and let's see what else is there to say about snob. Well, you know, like GR Arcada, like used to have like glass reflection or whatever. Used to
Yeah.
have like his line about how the ending is always paramount.
Oh gosh. Yeah.
And Snob had that too. Like he still sometimes says it, but not as much. His line is retro always wins or something like that. Or retro is always better, but I think usually it's retro always wins. Like I don't know. Do you think that there has been like a decline in anime, like the way that he sees it?
That's Snobsies.
Yeah, that since the 80s or whatever.
Yeah,
Like,
I agree with that. That I'm not like I enjoy anime from all time periods, I guess. Well, I guess I really haven't seen much from like the 60s, but I enjoy anime regardless of it because that's just what my autism tells me to do. So, like there definitely has been a decline in the type of shows, but that's making a generalization that shows from a certain era are all a certain way. Because like now it's saying that all anime from current year is the same is not exactly correct because there's a lot of things, like a lot of variety within each season.
yeah, I think he did make a season of review recently, like watching literally every fucking anime, and like saying that literally every one of it was shit, as well. I don't know how he can force himself to watch so much stuff that he doesn't like though. Like I don't know. I think another interesting thing about Snob like is that like he likes to make like a shit ton of like Excel sheets, like going through like every year and like tabulating every bloody show. I recommend you like and ranking like literally every show from every year. And I recommend to you to like have a look at his historical kind of historical analysis videos about like how anime changed or like this is Snob that I'm talking about. So like it's not just one fucking video because he can't be bothered to make one video. He has to make 10. Like I don't understand why he can't like yeah. One of the other things which he used to criticize Digibro a lot for was that like Snob used to say that like it only takes him 3 minutes like to say the point which it takes hours for Digibro to make something like that. Did you feel like that when you were watching Digi? And that's like I don't know. I personally didn't feel that way.
Yeah, I didn't really feel that way either. I think well some Digibro content was really long, because I guess he had a lot to say, but some of the stuff I enjoyed the most was the more like the shorter videos that usually were like less than 10 minutes. Specifically, well, they weren't less than 10 minutes, but I really liked the Akiyuki Shimbo in the 90s videos because it was just presenting information and stuff.
What are the what do you make of the decline and fall not of Western civilization but of anime reviews?
It's kind of hilarious because like before there used to be a lot of dare I say anti-tubers, but like there suddenly became a shift when like Digi started to gain popularity, and like you even see people like Arcada not really making reviews anymore, and it's like, oh, I got to do analysis now because that's the good thing. I mean, I don't
Yeah.
think. I mean, I agree with the idea that there is no such thing as objectivity. So but that doesn't mean reviews are worthless. It just means that you know, like they might not necessarily have a place for everybody.
Yeah, I kind of miss reviews to be honest because like when I was getting back into like anime proper. Um, like there was a time when I lived in South Asia in Sri Lanka, and the only anime like that I watched was just Full Metal Alchemist, and I read 80 volumes of Detective Conan, but I literally had to have someone send them to me via post from Italy, all the volumes. So I would only read three manga volumes a month, nothing more than that. I didn't have any internet or anything. But like when I was getting back into anime, like when I got an internet connection, and I got onto YouTube and found GRR Kada and others, and Gigak, of course. Uh, I kind of really appreciated those reviews which they used to make, because I didn't know what to watch and what not watch, and like every new video
Yeah.
which they made, it felt like they were pulling the next masterpiece out of their hat or whatever, something like that. And
Yeah.
also I could compare the reviews that like, because they were all reviews. It was more easier for me to compare each of the reviews that all of them made about different anime, if you get what I mean. Whereas now, with the analysis, because everyone is just looking at one specific autistic aspect of every series, it's very hard to compare stuff videos made by different people. Like
Yeah.
that's why I was so easily able to compare that review made by Argent and Digibro. The reason why I was able to easily compare them is because they were reviews, and yeah, it just feels like a lot of people now have sort of specialized to the point where like they sort of exist in different spheres entirely, which is one of the things. Although I do not like snobs and drama content that much, I do like that. He's trying to keep everyone connected a little bit, and there's another channel as well, with some guy who has got some soy boy sort of features. I don't know if you have seen it, but there's some guy who is going through all the different Anitubers, and he comments on each of the videos, and have you seen that guy?
No, I don't think so.
Yeah, basically what he does is basically every month or every week or something, he goes through anime YouTube and talks briefly about all the the popular anime YouTube videos that week, or something like that. And but the problem with that is that the videos have so little to do in common with each other, that people just go down to the description or whatever, where the timestamps are, and they will just look at the different creators that they're interested in, or the different videos or anime that they're interested in. It's just too fragmented, if you get what I mean, because there's
Yeah.
no line running through. You can't really. Oh, look, another dog. Right, go ahead.
But yeah, I agree with the where you came from as well. Like when I was first getting into anime, I would refer to a lot of these like the reviewers, like how you said, because it was kind of like they directed your path on what to watch. Like how I talked about in my last vlog about like these so-called required reading or the required
Yeah.
watching for anime, that they would
Exactly.
show like the highest rated shows they would have are things that they were like, well, I feel obligated to watch this now because it's like a masterpiece. So
Exactly.
like it was a good way to like navigate your way through anime if you're really getting into it, and like what to watch and what not to watch. Because like
It felt like.
yeah, because like
Yeah, go on.
even if the 10 out of 10 show you might not think is a 10 out of 10, it's probably important and you should watch it.
Yeah, I mean, if people just made fun of the numbers, like, oh, how dumb numbers are, but it wasn't entirely useless. I felt and there used to be a sort of canon, so to speak. Like that, like you would expect like everyone to have watched it. So uh, like there was an actual discussion about it, like something else rather than seasonal shit.
Yeah,
Uh,
I would agree with that. That's why, like I started to get sick and tired of our anime is because like it just is seasonal discussion most of the time, and like if you want to have like discuss about different kinds of things, there's not really much of a place for that, or it's just gonna get buried.
yeah, yeah. I mean, even on A, it's like I think that I even saw fucking Boruto and Dragon Ball Super Threads over there now. Uh, yeah, and I feel like people criticize the giving us like anime a score, like it doesn't make any fucking sense. Like it's not like you can remember every fucking anime, so like uh, it's just your subjective feeling anyway, and it's not like you consider every aspect of uh, of the show to be like of equal importance. And by the way, the way that that anime snob gets around this is that like I think in some of his reviews anyways that like he weights he weighs the different aspects differently. So in his case he would put the writing, he would give like more points for the writing, like a high percentage of the like of the final score would come from the writing as opposed to the animation and the music, something like that. So it's not like you need to consider like literally every aspect equally, and obviously like one of the criticisms of these reviews was that like nobody really considers like all the aspects to be equally important. Like everybody's more interested in one aspect than all the others. Like some people are only interested in the team, some people are only interested in the characters, some people are only interested in the plot. You see what I mean?
Yeah, so
Uh,
it's still gonna be somewhat subjective review regardless.
yes. But so I mean, I understand that like but like that it's going to be subjective, but I'm not sure whether like getting rid of the score together was the right decision because like even if it didn't make any sense, even if it was just a subjective number, and like like people would often complain at you and say like, why did you give this show like a 10 out of 10 or whatever, and this other 9.43 or compared to like 9.76 or whatever. Like what is the difference? Why is it just a few decimal points higher or something like that? I get that autism, but like
It's
I,
not all anime is created equally kind of thing. That
uh,
even if you rate like two shows like a 9, one of them you might like a slightly better. Like that's just a way to differentiate them.
I guess what makes more sense is a sort of ranking, I guess, maybe where you rank the highest to the lowest or something like that. Uh, so that you don't have to like give a very similar score to two things. I don't know, maybe that's
Yeah.
that's one of the things I've been thinking about. But like it led to many interesting thoughts in my mind anyway. Like when I when I thought about like why would this reviewer give a higher score than the other and so on. Whereas now it's sort of like not really a good thing like to talk about quality, because if you're talking about quality then you're talking about like like if you're talking about quality, obviously it has to be objective, and it can't be objective because you can't be objective. So you see, so it sort of leads to a kind of a disregard of quote unquote quality, and I think that's sort of what Snob is sort of rebelling against. Any thoughts on that?
I mean, I guess that's like I would respect him on that front. That you know, he's able to like this is what he believes in, so that's what he's uh like that's how he's applying himself to like
Yeah,
trying to like lead a charge to do that kind of thing. But
he also uses that word which you hate, a lot. Which word do you think it is that he uses a lot?
Uh, I don't know what would it be.
Pretentious. Go on, join, Craig. So, any thoughts on what I just said?
Yeah, so I think this kind of stems from I have this one really shitty blog that I probably won't upload, talking about how analysis is worthless. Essentially, the point is that analysis is just like masturbation, in that you're just like you're kind of like stroking your own ego while trying to talk smart about something, and it's mostly analysis is made to appease yourself. In that like other people might think differently about it, but the all the value from analysis is taken from or at least the majority is taken by the person making it. Um, so like it doesn't really matter what the take is and if it's correct or not, but I guess like the value of analysis is by the person making it. So it should be like analysis in general, like in terms of like YouTube videos, like if you spend a lot of time consuming analysis videos, you're not really getting much value out of it until you're actually making your own analysis.
So, so the point of analysis is to make more analysis.
Yeah, it's like to make your own analysis.
I see. This is sort of like when you ask like what is the point of like learning history? It's to become a history teacher, something like that.
Yeah.
I guess people like Snob don't appreciate that because, in their opinion, it's reviewing is supposed to be literally like feedback that an editor or something would give, something like it has to be something about the quality of the show, of whether it is he doesn't even like care about like any like like about the premise or whatever really that much, but rather uh, like like he talks about the golden rules of writing or whatever. Do you get what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's all about, in his case, it's all about uh, a matter of thinking, like an editor, uh, like he only cares about execution. Like for example, like he didn't give a shit about like the politics, in that in that video by that reactionary Catholic guy. Like he didn't really care about it like one way or the other. What he cared more about was about whether like the quality of the show is good, or of the anime is, I hate the word show, of the anime is good or not, uh, because in his mind this analysis is pointless because he calls it just headcanon,
Yeah.
it's not there in the bloody thing. You're just it's something. You see what I mean? What his criticism is there.
Yeah, like I mean I 100% agree with that, because like even though I've for example analyzed Origairu extensively, at the end of the day it's just all my headcanon.
So what would you say to someone like Snob who will just say, who would just say in one word, headcanon dismissed, like that.
I mean, I would assume that implies that analysis had worth in the first place. In which case, I mean, I would, to a certain extent, I would agree with that statement because, like I said, analysis only really has worth to the person making it. But like, if you have never really delved into analysis, like you need to watch analysis to understand how they work, and then you could start making your own and like
Yeah,
drawing connections yourself. So it's kind of a necessary evil there again.
yeah, I think like what he's getting at is that like in his case is that the point of reviewing and all that and of quote unquote proper analysis is to develop a proper taste, quote unquote proper taste, and anything beyond that is just pretentious overthinking, headcanon.
Yeah, I mean, I guess analysis is kind of it's missing the point of actual critique because analysis is like you're prescribing meaning to something within a show while kind of missing the point of like addressing the fact of whether the anime is good or not. The analysis could, like the conclusions you draw from the analysis could you know, tell you whether or not the anime was good or not, but it doesn't really matter like if the animation is pretty shit. Then from a I guess from a more technical side, then the bad animation or bad production values might not make up or might not be able to justify the meaning to life you found in it through your analysis.
Yeah, I guess the difference between some Digibro and the anime snob, the conflict, or at least that was there because Digibro has gone evil or whatever, or however you say that, and was that basically that anime snob is more like a movie critic or something, like Roger Ebert or something like that. Not exactly like that, but something like that. Whereas
Yeah.
Digibro is more writing an analysis, the way that I don't know a academic literary paper would be written, but not just like that, obviously, because he like inserts himself into it as well. But if you remove Digibro from his analysis, like you could rewrite his analysis in a way that you could publish it in a some kind of a literary review of some sort, maybe. I guess you would need some more citations, but other than that, you could do it. Whereas you couldn't do it with the anime snobs reviews, because like when you're making a literary criticism, quote unquote, like the sort of things that goes into those sort of literary journals, it's like a like imagine if in your English literature class, like you were writing that the book is shit, that this author doesn't know to write, like you wouldn't be able to do that and get away with it, right?
Yeah.
So that is basically what snob. Anyway, I'm just talking alone, just like if you have anything to say, just interrupt me and speak, and I'll shut up and let you speak. Okay, you don't need to wait until
I'm just listening.
Yeah, but do you have any response to that? Then?
Well, I mean, I guess like the whole literature class type thing, especially like high school literature where they teach you like there's a correct analysis and incorrect analysis, or interpretations, I should say. I think drilling that into people's heads was doing it was definitely not a good thing, because now there's like some people think that certain interpretations are wrong, whereas other ones are correct.
What I was talking about though was that like when you were writing English literature essays, like you couldn't talk about the quality of the writing, like you couldn't say that.
Oh, okay.
Do you see what I mean?
Yeah, so like you can't judge the book, and like if, for example, if you read I don't know, like Catcher in the Rye or something, you're like, well, it's bad, it's badly written or something, and simply write it off as that, it won't be accepted because that's not really I guess it's not really an analysis. It's just your opinion of it, comparing
Yeah,
it to like other things.
yeah, but basically what snob advocates for is like to like look at every genre and like pick like the best anime in every genre and use that anime as the standard to judge every other anime in that genre to compare it against, something like that.
Yeah, I think everybody does that anyways. Like there's certain standards I have for like how I think character, like a good cast of characters can be written, or like how a good story is, or what good animation is. And that's like that's how the human mind is able to draw connections between things. Like the mind draws compares two things, and that's how you like make connections between things and differentiate them from the rest and stuff.
So the question is whether a review or an analysis or whatever should, or a video or whatever, should be more about that rather than your headcanon. Yeah, like which is the most important, like which should be the backbone of the anime community, like or rather most of the anime commentary analysis community. Because like for example, like I had Dash in the chat, like if he's still there, like I had him say that like he stopped liking Digibro because like he felt uh, like you could almost justify anything, like I can't remember what he said exactly, but uh, basically that fucking hell, what did he say? Something along the lines of that it's all just basically um, sophistry, sort of. You see what I mean? Whereas
Yeah.
if it was strictly just about like whether whether it is a good anime or not, like
Yeah,
it
so
would.
like basically like I'm able to justify that I like Sword Art Online because it was the first show I watched, and I have like some other like bullshit reasons why I'm able to
Yeah, and
say that
yeah.
it's not shit. But that doesn't get to the heart of the issue, which is the show itself is not really that good if you're looking at it from like strictly a writing perspective or something like that, or like the characters
Yeah.
are obviously not all like the best characters ever written or anything. So in terms of like making progress or anything, making an analysis from my perspective of saying that, yeah, Sword Art Online isn't that bad, isn't furthering, I guess, like the anime industry. It in like
The taste
yeah,
of anime fans, really.
yeah, really altering the taste, because if you're justifying if you're justifying that, for example, or you might be not necessarily intending to, but you might imply that Sword Art Online is not that bad, then you're not furthering the taste of anime fans, which in turn like I guess motivates the industry to remain stagnant, and which is why you see a lot of isekai and whatnot like saturating the market.
Yes, and that is why like Snob is saying that he's like a fucking shonen protagonist, like getting his channel deleted, like the platforms which are on like get shut down or something. Like I think he used to be like the number one YouTube anime YouTuber on VidMe and Dailymotion or whatever, and but he doesn't give up some nonsense like that, and like I mean, do you agree with his judgment, or that like when people give takes like what I said about or rather what that Catholic reactionary Catholic said about like Attack on Titan like being about like something else, or like what I said about Sword Art Online, like when I say stuff like Sword Art Online is like a feudal fantasy or some other stuff like that, like which obviously like is not there. Uh, and I mean, do you think that is right though?
Yeah, I
That
mean that
that be,
but like saying that's correct, like Snob's opinion is correct, but that's kind of I mean, removing the audience from the equation, or like the individual from the equation, I should say. That's kind of discounting the like your personal enjoyment of something over just pure critique.
Yeah, I think he thinks that like basically just like that guy that sorry, not that guy, I mean Dash. That's a name, I shouldn't say that. Like Dash said, basically like if you if you can use a Digibros logic like or something like that, some sort of analysis to justify anything, like that means that like you will have like fanboys like or whatever you want to call them, like justifying and making excuses because they subjectively enjoyed it. Uh,
Yeah, I
to
mean,
like
you could justify anything that because you found a certain value in something, you could say that, well, because I think this thing, then the characters are well written.
yeah, and basically like that is why Snob is like against that sort of subjectivism, and why he still I think advocates using scores and numbers and trying to be objective more than anything else, uh, because even if you can't be objective, like if you want like anime to be quality, to be good, to be better, uh, like even if you can't affect the industry, like if you can affect, like I don't know, like I don't know, I mean I think that sort of like brings us back to that to what we said about those YouTubers thinking that like they are leeching off of the anime industry, that they are not really making anything of any value. So for the analysis really to have any value, that the only value which it really can have outside of their I guess subjective value is if like it says something about the quality of the anime really.
Yeah,
Okay, is that all?
yeah, that's basically. I agree with that statement. I mean, like, I guess I'm not sure if I necessarily had this position when we first began the discussion, but now that we've gone through all that,
Six. Okay. Right. So, what was I talking about? Fuck. Yeah, like I was telling you all this because I wanted you to like convince me otherwise. Because, like, I don't want to think of like of it like as you said, it like takes the individual out of it. You see?
Yeah.
How do you put the individual back in?
I mean, that's why analysis is a necessary evil. That even if it's not going to be, I guess, furthering the improvement of the specific medium of art, it is able to, like, it's a way for people to explain their personal like analysis of the thing, which is why I liked Digi, because he did like Gonzo style things where he would explain the a specific thing about an anime through the context of himself, and it would allow you to see it as like, wow, you could see this show not simply as like a very general statement, but you can apply it to various aspects of yourself, and like for self improvement or and whatnot.
Or self-aggrandizement? It's the same
Yeah.
thing. Uh, and I hate to be like I hate centuries. The truth is never in the middle. But I think in my reviews personally, I've been trying to like do a little bit of both. You know, because like you will have like people on places like Anime News Network, people who write for places like that, criticize YouTubers or like influencers or something like that. I really hate that word, influencers, anime
So do
influencers or whatever.
I.
And like they will complain about, or even place like Dem Anime. Like you must have seen that site, right? THEM Anime, that all review site. Have you
I
seen it?
have.
Yeah. And like I've heard people like on there as well, like complain about like these anime influencers, and because like they are inserting it's all about the personalities. It's not about like the point which is being made. Like for example, on like I don't know how true it is, but like it is sometimes said that like on 4chan, like what you say is more important than who you are because it's all anonymous or whatever.
As the cliche goes, yeah.
Yeah, I don't know if it's true or not, but basically what this like text-based, uh, more like old-style reviewers are saying is that like I don't know, the movie critics, the Roger Eberts of the world, like they're saying that uh, these YouTubers or whatever, like they're inserting their. I mean, like even in your blog, like I feel like you were inserting yourself far less there than you were in your videos. Would you agree with that?
I'm not. Well, I mean, the way my videos are being made at the current moment, that's true, because a lot of the videos are more personal things, whereas the blogs, while they are a Gonzo styled, aren't necessarily as like just recounting my life story kind of thing.
Do you think that it's something inherent to the, I don't know, the video form, like especially when it's just you, like rather than when you're writing for a publication or something?
Yeah,
Uh,
because like well, I'm not sure if it's still the slogan now, but the YouTube slogan used to be like broadcast yourself, and a lot of
it's not.
times
It's not that anymore. It's not that anymore.
it's like well, like just simply, for example, after dark videos for Digi, would just turn on the camera and face it towards him. So you're already from the offset putting yourself at the center of the frame. So it's an opinion being broadcasted by a specific individual. So you're kind of already framing it in that way, both literally and figuratively.
Um, let's say, but how justified is it to like self-indulge like in that further, rather than just making a review? Like because like you could say that people like GRR Kada were also like inserting themselves like with his tagline, what was it? The ending is always paramount or whatever. I don't
Yeah.
think he believes that anymore, uh, which is kind of sad. Um, it would have been like more interesting if he tried to justify everything like that.
Yeah.
But yeah, uh, I guess that's a sort of a justification of individuality, I guess. But still, then there was still the quality. Like they try to style their reviews and stuff after the stuff in publications. Don't you think so?
Yeah, that's how they presented themselves as.
And do you think like that we should go back to that? We should like try to do that, or is that something like which was useless as well?
I guess I mean, it's kind of a relic of the past at this point. That if someone, for example, tries to start doing that again, I don't think they're going to have much success.
Why is that?
Well, because like a lot of but because of the influence Digi had on the community, that more people are, I guess, expecting analysis. Because a lot of people have, like anyone can prescribe a value to a show, but like sometimes throughout analysis, there are some things that, like some conclusions that people aren't able to draw, which is, I guess, one of the reasons why analysis is justified in a certain sense.
Then do you think that the people on Anime News Network and them reviews and all that were correct in their criticism that it's all about the personality? Like the reason that you can't get away with like making ordinary reviews is that something like because people watch Digi for the not like they watch him like for his personality rather than just for his
For sure.
takes.
For sure.
So they were. Okay.
I mean, I'm not sure if you're familiar with the he used to work at Kotaku, but Tim Rogers. He's the one who made the 6-hour Tokimeki Memorial analysis.
Oh
or
yeah, I
slash
did
review.
watch that. Yeah, I
Yeah,
did watch that.
it's an excellent review. But I think a lot of the especially during the Kotaku days, a lot of people like myself were drawn to his videos because he the personality he injected into them differentiated them from a lot of the other ones, where a lot of the other
It,
people try to follow some sort of formula, but he was, I guess, to a certain extent, allowed to do his own thing, and why people were able to single him out and be like, "Hey, that's Tim Rogers," versus just some other guy.
I know you don't like that word, but I feel like I have to say that at the end, like the Tokimeki Memorial review sort of got just a little bit cringy, to be honest. Uh, did you feel that way? Because I feel like there was going to be like this huge like take or whatever, and like all right, this is a dating sim. That's it, really. That's what I felt, really. Uh,
I didn't really feel that way. Because going into the video, I was mostly uh I guess hesitant because I was gonna watch a 6-hour review of this of a dating sim, and I was afraid that he would reach the conclusion that it's just a game, guys. It doesn't matter, kind of thing. But he didn't really reach that conclusion, and ultimately the conclusion he had was that the game was more real than anything else. At least that's what
yeah,
I
but
got.
that's not true, is it?
Yeah, it's not true. Well, I mean, depending on who you ask, but
Uh, I guess so. It's just maybe I don't know. Maybe it would have been better if it's. For me, like I don't know, like looking at him, I was kind of worried, like about something else, but it didn't happen, fortunately. Basically, that he was going to condemn it as uh, for some stupid political reason, but fortunately, that did not happen. And I mean, I guess from the beginning, it was kind of obvious that he was not going to do that. But I guess I've become kind of paranoid because of certain events. Uh, like, what do you expect the reaction to something like that video by someone like Snob would be?
I mean, a lot of the meaning, especially a lot of the analysis that Tim Rogers had about that game was intrinsic to his personal experience, through life and seeing things in the game and relating them to his real life and vice versa. And I think, I mean, I would assume that's what the game it's.
Uh,
it it kind of play, but it would be trying to say judge of which characters are written good in which
yeah,
ways, and
yeah, basically, yeah.
I think I don't think that I don't think that would that would be kind of like saying is well, um for example, a lot of the feelings Rogers felt towards I don't remember her name, but the sports girl, that would be oh,
Yeah.
you only like her because of your personal experiences or whatever. But I mean, I think that's a valid reason.
Yeah, but I mean, couldn't you also say that? Fuck, I can't remember what I was going to say. What the fuck was I going to say? Uh, don't be so silent. Like, say something.
Uh,
uh,
I don't know. I just like the idea of that review and Tokimeki Memorial in general. It's like
I don't know. Isn't it a lot of this like in the idea of something rather than the thing itself?
yeah,
Uh,
the Plato's theory of ideals or ideas, or I think that's what it.
it's not. I mean that like a criticism which Snob often has about anime and about a lot of stuff. It's that like it's all about the premise. Like the premise is
Yeah.
cool and all, and like people who talk about the anime like will talk about the premise and then insert their headcanon into it. Like like that guy who talked about like Attack on Titan being something about like white people being replaced or whatever. Uh, or me talking about like Sword Art Online being like about a feudal something utopia or whatever stuff like that. I mean here too in this case too it's uh, I mean, how much of it was just about the review was about Tokimeki Memorial, and how much of it was just about Tim Rogers? What if instead of if he didn't talk anything at all about Tokimeki Memorial and just talked about his experience or whatever, like uh, what would be lost?
I mean, I like a lot like I said, a lot of the analysis was through his own experience, but I don't think it was necessarily skewed more to himself. Though it was obviously taken through the lens of himself, but regarding the premise of things, I think like when you're going into something, the whole purpose of a summary and like a catch line to a specific anime or movie or whatever is which it's well, that's what's supposed to draw you in, and that's the premise of it. A lot of times I do find that the premise of a show doesn't adequately meet my expectations of what I wanted it to be, and in which case you would it would be like, oh, they squandered the premise, they wasted this all this world building or whatever, or this cool idea on this really shit story or whatever.
Yeah, and rather than writing like their own story, you will have people like imagine their own story in their head and then
Headcanon, fan fiction.
yeah, yeah, praise and then praise the story which they are reading, praise the author and like how talented and great they are, or whatever. Like I guess the latest person who Snob is shitting on is Isayama, uh, the guy who wrote Attack on Titan. Like he will look for like people online like praising Isayama, and then he will, I don't know, quotes from some article where like he says that like he had no idea and like he had to ask the editor what to do, and whereas like the fans or whatever think like, oh, he must have had it like all planned. Or and going back to Tokimeki Memorial, I mean I guess the events are set though, aren't they? I mean, it's not like
Yeah.
so. This is one of the reasons why I can't get into video games in general. By the way, it feels like I'm just like going over that I'm not really doing something unique because I'm just doing
Interesting.
because I'm just doing something that like other people have done before. Like I mean, like think about MMORPGs like World of Warcraft. Like I haven't
Yeah.
played any of them or whatever, but like people get excited like every time like there's a new expansion or whatever, because like they get excited to be like the first person who does like something or other. But like after like somebody has already done it for the first time, like it's no longer anything special. You're not finding anything new. You're not really exploring. It's like you're going like to a museum about like a bunch of explorers who found something out, and like you're going there like pretending that you're exploring or something. something like that.
That's a really interesting take on video games specifically, because a lot of the argument in support of video games over other like more passive, I guess, entertainment forms like anime and like reading or whatever is that you get agency in games and you could do whatever you want. But I like you said, it's not necessarily the case because all these events have been like scripted out most of the time, and you're supposed to like all things that a player can do within a game have been already tested to make sure that they do work. Well, theoretically, but because there's only a limited amount of things that people can do within a game. But a lot of the reason why people enjoy games is because of that agency. But like you said, that's kind of like it's that idea that they do have agency is like, I guess it's mostly just a false idea of that. So
Yeah,
like that's why like I'm not like a huge video game person, despite like using it a lot in like references and stuff. But like I enjoy like visual novels a lot. I don't read them that much, but I enjoy visual novels a lot and hold them in a higher regard than video games. Largely because like some people will say, oh, you know, visual novels, you get to choose your own adventure or whatever, but that's not true. They're just like video games in that respect that you're like they present you a choice, but you're only really going to choose maybe one or two things anyways.
yeah, like when I press a button and like I see the same animation happening over and over again, like I don't feel any agency, to be honest.
Yeah.
And as for visual novels, I just consider them to be novels. Really, that's how I can enjoy them. And I probably wouldn't have enjoyed Tokimeki Memorial because it has got too much quote unquote gameplay, and the gameplay, as far as I'm concerned, just gets in the way of the story.
In which case, there really isn't much of a story.
Yeah. Yeah, I guess. Like, what do you make of like a? I get that like a lot of it is just like anti-SJWs or whatever, like just grifting. Like, but you must have heard that like they always complain about like game journalists or whatever, like how they like they can't even fucking play the game. They have to like have their own fucking journalist game, or like or maybe they even didn't fucking, maybe who knows, maybe they didn't even play the bloody game, but they just watched a playthrough, or even worse than that.
In some cases, plagiarize it.
Yeah,
plagiarize
that's what I was going to say. Yeah, and I don't know, like a lot of these things which I hear are like it's their bread and butter, like people like V and Sargon or whatever. So or at least it was the bread and butter. So I don't know like how common actually these things are, because I don't read anything related to video games really, because I don't play them. But yeah, I can't remember what the fuck the point I was going to make was. Shite. What was I talking? What were I talking about before?
Well, we were talking about visual novels, maybe. Tokimeki Memorial, game journalism.
Oh yeah. I don't know what the fuck. How the fuck did I end up there? So let's see if I can pretend that I actually know what I was talking about. I think I was going to say something about like are they really reviewing it? Like is it really a problem that like ignoring the plagiarism, obviously, the fact that they're playing it on easy mode or whatever, or that they're not playing it at all, that they're just watching that for them, as far as they're concerned, well, the game is basically the cutscenes in it. There's nothing more to the game as far as they're concerned. Like I don't play video games, but I often hear gamers or whatever, or at least people like V or whatever, complaining about the fact that a lot of modern big video games are all you could take all the cutscenes and put them together, and that's the story. yeah, that's basically the bulk of the content. Like the gameplay is only a little something
Yeah,
like that.
I mean, like I guess this is similar to anime criticism in that everybody is looking for a certain thing. Some people might really enjoy the story aspects to it, which is why games like Metal Gear Solid uh, are revered, like scored so highly and stuff, and people love that game. Like Kojima games where he has a lot of story elements in it. But like in terms of like reviewing a game, I think it's kind of dumb because everybody's going to play a game slightly differently. Like you might be really good at like a certain thing, like a certain style of game. Like you might be really good at like an RPG, whereas the reviewer might not be. So the reviewer's take on it won't really matter because they're not coming from the same place as you. So that's why game journalism is kind of retarded. But for the sake of not talking too much about game journalism, like in terms of like just reviews in general.
Are you going
Sorry.
to play? Sorry, what? Sorry, go on. Sorry.
You continue.
Are you going to play Tokimeki Memorial? That's what I'm thinking about. Like, if I watch an anime review and I think I like the anime, then I'm going to watch the anime. But like realistically, are you ever going to play Tokimeki Memorial? Like, are most people who watch that review going to play it?
Most people aren't, and the purpose of the video was to serve as, I guess, I mean, I don't want to say it was a replacement, but like most people, that's where their exposure to Tokimemo begins and ends. But like myself, I've been interested in playing this game because it's like it is the dating sim, and I've gotten to the point where I'm able to read Japanese well enough that I probably could theoretically play it if like I just popped it in one day.
Yeah, because I don't think that I am going to play it, even though I thought that the video was decent. Like, it was enjoyable. It was an enjoyable. Uh, I enjoyed it, yeah, but I just didn't feel like. I, I guess the video was enjoyable, but I didn't feel like I would like the game. So it's like that's kind of weird, sort of. I guess that's all I wanted to say about that. I guess. And what were you going to say about reviews earlier?
I don't know. I was just gonna start like rambling. I think.
It's yeah.
Yeah. It doesn't matter.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I'm sorry if that you forgot
No,
what you were going to
it's
say.
just that we've kind of talked about reviews and stuff, and I think I've mostly exhausted a lot of the things I had to say about that. And for the
Yeah,
sake of
sorry.
not going
Yeah,
down the rabbit hole
yeah,
of talking about game journalism, which most people have already talked about.
yeah. I mean, I don't really know anything about it, to be honest. Like only what I've heard
Yeah, same
other
here.
people.
I don't necessarily like read game journalism or anything, so I'd just be talking
Yeah,
out of my ass as well.
yeah. I mean, and, like sometimes I feel that the only people who are reading is other people who are complaining about it. To be honest, but to be honest, I don't play video games, so I don't know shit. Uh, yeah. Sorry again about my low IQ intervention. If you get my reference. Um,
No worries.
uh, okay. I think we have talked quite a bit about reviewing, all because of Digibro. I don't know. He just pops into my mind, sometimes. Uh, like I don't know. And not just me. Like he just comes up in conversations in the Discord server, like out of nowhere.
Yeah,
Um,
I think even with my old real life friend, like in high school and stuff, like Digibro would always somehow worm his way into our conversations, regardless of the context. And I don't know. It's just like it's. I guess influenced a lot of the ways some people think. So when you make that connection of saying something, you like Digi will like alongside he will appear there.
yeah, because basically what I'm doing is basically what he was doing, really, without a script. So because I can't be bothered to write it.
It's just
Uh,
after dark.
yeah. To be honest, I preferred After Dark.
Yeah, same here.
Yeah. I think like most of the fans or whatever. I
I
don't know
think
if
yeah, most people
I
who
would go.
are still I guess there's some people who have styled a lot of their content after Digibro. But the majority of those people that, at least those that I follow, are like the people who are influenced by After Dark. Like, I'm not sure if you watched like Osaka Syndrome / Star / Infinite Outlaw, who was kind of like Digibro After Dark, but like 10 years younger.
I subscribe to him because Princess, I can't fucking say that name.
Underphonics, yeah.
Yeah,
Princess
I can't.
Underphonics is another person who seems to be very influenced by a lot of the I don't know, golden era Digibro content kind of thing, just like myself.
Yeah, because he did say in that video that there are a lot of people influenced by Osaka syndrome, and I guess he was kind of implying that you are one of those people, maybe. Uh, and to be honest, like when it comes to Digibro himself, I feel like that if he would just just ramble on, have a separate channel where he just rambles on about his thoughts about whatever. I think that most like the people who are shitting on him in the comments would be gone because that is what they want, really.
Yeah.
They do not want, like most of them, at least the ones that are left, do not want his highly scripted videos. I don't know. I mean, I say highly scripted, but I do want them.
Yeah, I don't think, even though they were more popular, I think the people who like were Digi fans were people who were watching After Dark vlogs and whatnot. Because like a lot of times, like the main channel content would be would draw in like the just like general population of anime people on YouTube.
Yeah, the lower masses, you know. Yeah. And I do wonder though whether we are only saying this because we prefer his after dark content, you know.
That's probably it. But like, I mean, I haven't spoken to many people who are Digi fans, but most people I've spoken to will say that they were mostly an After Dark type of person.
Yeah.
That's what the real shit was.
Yeah, that was the good stuff. And yeah, I think probably, I don't know whether it was to make a video like just saying whatever his thoughts are or whatever. And I don't know if it was in response to that, but he did say, he did make a video sort of like that. Like I don't know whether you watched it. I was unable to go through it because like I don't know, he was doing too many other things like driving and walking around or whatever. Did you watch it? Like he did make a sort of a rambly video, and he said that's because somebody told him that like people might like to see it. Did you see that video though?
Which video? Do you remember which one it was? Or
I mean, yes, it's a lot of shit. But I mean, he did like make a video like where he was just talking. I think probably the last video he made like that. Okay. Dash doesn't get the low IQ intervention. It's a reference to. Do you want to say what the reference is to?
I didn't get the reference either.
Do you remember that giant shit show? Yeah, in 2017 or something, with people like Richard Spence and Andy Racewalski or whatever, like making streams on YouTube or whatever. Do you remember that? No, maybe.
No.
You probably didn't pay attention to it. Yeah. There's a clip basically. There's a point to basically where the co-guest something Gary Pay, just say Gary Pay or something, stops Andy Voski by telling him that basically the channel belongs to Andy Voski, this guy called Andy Voski, and this French guy tells him to stop. Like that he interrupted him with a slow IQ intervention or something like that. And basically because of that, their podcast or live streaming thing comes to an end, which finally leads to like both of them like becoming lol cows basically.
I see.
I don't know. I think Andy Boski like ended up like from hosting the most popular live stream on YouTube. Like he went to like burning hairs on his nipples for views. And as for the other guy, Garipe, I think he like uh, basically he was like one of those alt-right idiots, and like he ended up. I mean, he wasn't really an idiot, but you know what I mean. He ended up basically like it was found out although he was constantly talking about like how like we should like protect the high IQ population or whatever. It turned out that like he was married to like this mentally retarded woman, and like obviously like he was going to end up being made fun of for that,
Yeah.
because like if he wanted high IQ children or whatever, like why why would he like marry a mentally retarded woman? Yeah, so that's that was that dash. Let's see if there are any other commenters. Zeta, what the fuck is Zeta? You know what that is?
Yeah, it was another channel. I'm not all that familiar with it, but I watched this the video I linked, industrialization, girls' schools, and the birth of the Yuri genre. That was an interesting video because like when I was like, because it basically talks about how like in Japanese culture, from what I remember, Japanese culture I guess doesn't necessarily like oppose the idea, but like I guess somewhat encourages these same-sex relationships for people to explore and stuff, but not necessarily as like for the future to become a lesbian, but like just like explore these things, explore your gender, and but at the end of the day, you're still gonna live in a like I guess like the normal, quote unquote normal society, and like the girls are gonna get married to a man and become a housewife and whatnot.
Yeah, standard tradcon stuff. Uh, let's see. And what was that video called?
I linked it. It's called Industrialization, Girls' Schools, and the Birth of the Yuri Genre.
I don't know if the reactionary audience are going to like it on my Discord, but it's still interesting. So whatever. Anime is more important anyway. Do you know? I don't know. I mean, as far as I'm concerned, it's kind of porn, but nothing wrong with that.
Yeah.
Oh god, but I can't understand this, man. This emoji stuff. What is Dash trying to say? We needs just live different. The best videos just describe the content of other videos. I mean,
It's I think I agree with the statement that we need to just live differently, because after getting getting on like YouTube and stuff, and like through the type of people who find your shit, and then finding other people who are similar, like going through a lot of the videos that that White Hand has made, it's just like this person is just me, just living in a slightly different situation somewhere else.
yeah. I mean, like when Tote Agent was like in the chat, like he was like what a sad story, whatever, something like that. I mean, he didn't say it like that, but I kind of don't know how to speak.
Yeah,
in
I know. I read the thing.
Yeah, I kind of don't know how to speak in a non-mocking way, but he didn't mean it say it in a mean way or whatever. But like, and I was like, I mean, is he really that? I mean, that's that rare or whatever. It seems to me almost normal, I guess. And I was more interested in why he thought that the bloody Fate Stay Night adaptation
Yeah,
was like I mean,
that's an interesting take.
yeah, I
Because
mean,
like I've also seen Dean Stay Night, And I'm pretty. I mean, I'm not gonna call myself like uh deep within the Nasuverse fandom, but I'm fairly well versed in it. Like read Tsukihime, uh, read the shitty translations of Karno Kyokai and whatnot. So like it's interesting to hear. Well, I mean, I haven't read the original VN, but it's interesting to see someone who I guess is into it and is able to like defend this adaptation. But in the same time, I guess I am able to understand it because, for example, with Boogie Pop, uh, I'm really into the Boogie Pop light novels, and the original series from 2000, Boogie Pop Phantom, is not it's an adaptation, but it's not like a one-to-one traditional adaptation you might think from like an anime at the time. Instead, it's like it's a spin-off, and that's kind of what Dean's Day and Night was. So I'm assuming that like for someone who has already familiarized themselves with the VN for so long, that it doesn't really matter the context of the story. They because like a lot of the story, they already know the story and they already know the characters. So seeing it presented in this way, like their mind is able to subconsciously fill in the gaps, like how I felt when I watched Boogie Pop Phantom. Whereas some people might be confused at like why is this character acting a certain way, or what does this event even mean, kind of thing.
I mean, my personal feeling on the matter is I haven't watched any of the anime, but I did play the route on which that adaptation was based on. And I found the route to be extremely boring, so boring, in fact, that I didn't play the other route. Yeah, so that's all there is to it, as far as I'm concerned.
I just think.
I guess.
Sorry, you can continue.
No, you continue. Sorry.
All right, I just think that that White Hand, from what I understand, it dislikes the more modern ones because maybe they brought in the shonen tard people who are into it for the fights and stuff and aren't appreciating the lore. But me and him both
Are you
agree
talking about
that
Gigak? Are you talking
yeah
about Gigak?
yeah we both agree that like Fate Grand Order destroyed Fate, and that it like while the UFO table shows might have brought in the shonen tards, Fate Grand Order brought in the whales.
Uh, I don't understand these gacha games, to be honest with you.
Yeah, neither do I.
I have tried. Part of it is probably because I should be thankful for this, but my phone is probably too shitty to run most of them, so I should be thankful for that. But the few that I've tried to play, like Azure Lane and FGO as well, like I played them for a bit. I'm like, what the fuck is this shit? I guess maybe it's because like I played it on my phone and my computer is even shittier, so it's not going to play any of those games. Have you ever tried playing it?
Yeah, I've tried playing Fate Grand Order like twice. The first time, I tried. I desperately tried to get into it to try to understand it, but like the story was really meandering and the gameplay was mind-numbing, to say the least. Like, and a lot of these gacha games seem the same. Like, you're supposed to sit down and play it for like 15 minutes and then don't think about it until the next day. I've tried playing the Idolmaster Cinderella Girls mobile game, mostly because it's a rhythm game and I enjoy rhythm games. But like similar to that, like I play it for maybe like a day or two and then get tired of it.
Yeah, I don't really know much about games, to be honest. The only rhythm game that I've tried to play, I don't know if it's even a rhythm game, but have you heard of Osu?
Yeah, I used to be deep into that.
Yeah, I guess I kind of enjoyed it for a while. By which I mean a few days, and then I got tired of it.
Yeah.
And I thought like I could spend this time more productively watching anime, reading
Yeah,
novels.
exactly.
What the fuck am I doing? I did. By the way, that's a obviously long video on my channel about basically going through all the video games, which not many, which basically I tried to get into all sorts of genres of video games because I watched some YouTube videos and they were I found the videos interesting more than but when I tried to actually play the thing it was not interesting.
I fully
Yeah.
agree with that. Like I come from, I guess the same mindset as you, and that like the video game analysis. I really like watching videos about video games. But like actually playing them, I don't play that often. Um, and like I might beat like maybe one or two games per year. Like I'm more often than not, I'll just like read a book or watch anime or play a VN or something.
Yeah, I mean, to be honest, I don't know, it's just so much easier to enjoy myself watching anime. Even like if it's just a shitty seasonal anime or whatever, I'm often
Yeah,
surprised about how much I can enjoy myself in just those 20 minutes. Uh, by the way, given that we were talking about FGO or whatever and VTubers or whatever. Did you see how Gigak made the jump from or whatever went from shilling one thing to the other from, from those by shilling I'm not talking about shilling but rather hyping hyping those gacha games to hyping VTubers some sort of
yeah.
yeah
I saw it. It was like, what was it? Uh, Shoot, I don't remember the video. I unsubscribed from Kiko a long time ago. Um, I forgot what it was, but there was a video about yeah, I spent 1,000 hours playing this anime card game or something, or I spent like $1,000 buying waifus.
kind of yeah no, it made me really cringe it reminded me of that Mr. Beats or whatever I don't fucking
Yeah,
know him
but like
that
it's
yeah
like the whole point is that they spent a lot of money.
what the fuck is this shit and yeah that I think I mean even the VTuber video was kind of like that oh look I'm such a simp now just like you
Oh gosh, that's nope.
yeah fuck off
Pretty cringe, bro.
I don't know Gigak wasn't always this cringe. I remember his
No, he
old
wasn't.
review.
Yeah, I used to watch. What did he call him? The um, he,
Yeah, I can't.
A to Z reviews or something. Anime
Yeah.
Zone.
Anime Zone, yeah. And they were good. I particularly liked his reviews of Haruhi Suzumiya, for example. I thought that one was pretty good.
Yeah, I remember that one. I also remember his NHK review. That's how I found that show.
Yeah, yeah. I guess on a podcast, I think he recently said that he was worried that he doesn't want the anime community to become an intellectual sphere that like what do you make of that I think he means that he wants it to become to remain kind of light-hearted his reviews are
I guess
uh,
this loops us back to talking about gatekeeping once again. That I think he's trying to not make it as intimidating as a thing, because at the end of the day, anime is just like a cartoon. And not all and trying to like pretend like all anime has this really deep intellectual value to it. Like while it might be true to some, like a lot of other people can watch a specific anime and not necessarily uh feel that that's the case. So like he's trying to like bring things back a little bit and say like keep the bar for entry low for the new fags and not scare them away. But I mean,
yeah,
I don't think that's I personally I personally am in support of gatekeeping. In the fact that like I think there should be like required reading for anime or whatever. But um, I don't know. I just think the idea that thinking about anime is should be contained uh, is not good.
I think I think Snob's response to that, I think he made like a video of like shitting on Gigak, and Gigak was like crying in the comments like, what did I do to you? Like, why are you doing this? Yeah, some cringy shit like that. And the video was basically saying that well, Gigak basically just will just hype like any anime, like whatever, like as the next masterpiece or whatever, but like just give it a few like a year or whatever, and like everyone has forgotten about that anime and about that thing, and so that means that it was all fucking fake hype. I don't know. That was basically Snob's point in the.
Like I know Snob is against this whole like these people who hype shit up.
Yeah.
And I mean to that extent I also agree because I don't really watch seasonal stuff. So like I'm not gonna like say that all modern anime is bad or whatever, but I don't buy into this hype thing because like while for example like this isn't recent, but like Cabaneri was like
Oh god.
was really
Yeah.
hyped and like everybody forgot about it and no one cares about it anymore. It's like
Yeah.
stuff like that. It won't stand the test of time, but it doesn't necessarily mean it's like a terrible show or anything. It's not good, but
Yeah, for Snob it is probably terrible.
yeah.
And yeah, and another thing which Snob likes to do is that like he will shit on an anime, and like which is like praised or whatever that season or whatever. Like say Attack on Titan, like he was shitting on it like from the very beginning, and like I guess like after some time, like yeah, he has this theory that like they will only praise it until like they can like use their head canon to imagine what there will be in the next episode or whatever, and and by the end of it like they will still praise it like after it has ended like because like nobody wants to think that they were wrong, but like if you give it enough time, if you give it like a year or something, like you can see like the tide spread, like be moved, think about a show like
Yeah.
Erased for example.
Yeah, Erased, and I was thinking of Bunny Girl Senpai. Like
Yeah.
like the hype definitely cooled down a lot. That I didn't like Bunny Girl Senpai because I felt like it was like a cheap imitator of a lot of other
Bootleg,
shows. Bootleg Origairu, and kind of like trying to emulate like what Monogatari was doing in terms of like witty dialogue but missing the point. And like over time, like it went from being I don't know like top 50 on Mal or something, and now it's a bit lower. It's come down that more now that it's ended and the dust has settled. People are seeing it for how it actually is.
Yeah, and obviously, like Snob likes to make fun of. Like, you must have seen it, like that meme or whatever of like all the protagonists look the fucking same. Like, and it's literally you. And like, you think you're a smart guy, and like that like I don't know, girls should like you or whatever the fuck. Yes, but I think that's pretty cheap. It's not something that only Snob can say. Like everyone can say that.
Yeah.
Did you see that that Shotakon YouTuber who was like like making some fucking cringy videos? I know you hate that word, so sorry for using it.
Don't worry about it.
I mean, making some videos about like about fan service being bad or whatever. And I think it got like around 500,000 views or something. I don't know. And yeah, I don't know. I don't really have any thoughts on that. I just saw it on the. Unfortunately, I have to be on Twitter because I need to like try and I wouldn't say coerce, but like to get people to come and join my Discord or whatever. And yeah, I noticed that trending. Did you notice? Did you know?
I'm not on Twitter, so I didn't see that.
Good for you. Good for you.
Yeah, I deleted my Twitter a while ago. I made it because like some artists like like insist on posting their art on Twitter, but like I eventually realized you could just get the art from like Gelboro or Danboro or whatever.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I guess like I don't know. Just the idea that all fan service is bad is dumb. Because like I mean I'm assuming that's just people making the assumption that all fan service is like the Gynax bounce, like it's just all boobs. When in actuality, like you could say fan service is like paying homage to older shows or something. Like I guess like making a parody or a reference to something or that happened either earlier on in that show or perhaps like in another anime. That's also fan service. It's paying homage to it's like just eye candy for the fans.
I know, and I think she also made a video about fucking lollies, which is why I feel like a bunch of fan art of her drawing a bunch of self-insert short shit came up. But yeah, I mean, I guess there's nothing to say about that. Like, oh, look at how hypocritical they are, whatever. There's sort of like a meme on the reactionary right about like conservatives and like people like Sago and who like say stuff like, imagine if the situation were reversed and like it's written on a tombstone, like on a tomb for conservatism. Like, here lies conservatism. Like it's all about like you can point at the hypocrisy of the other side as much as you want. Like it was like there's nothing like much deeper than that. Okay, they were hypocritical. So what? What else is there to talk about? Gosh. Oh yeah. What do you make of sequels? Like, for example, the Code Geass sequel, which is going to come up soon, for example.
I guess that's exactly the same as like the whole Hollywood's fetishization of sequels. And like just bringing things back just because it has brand recognition, which from their perspective it makes sense, but not from a fan it kind of seems like you're beating a dead horse, or like because Code Geass ended like it ended and it had it ended conclusively, and trying to say like, oh, we're gonna bring it back is like, well, it's very transparent of what you're trying to do, and I'm not sure if this is what the way you wanted to bring the conversation, but like a lot of anime getting sequel these days. Instead of like original series.
Yeah, I mean, really, I didn't really have any point in mind. I was kind of like, I can't let there be any silence, kind of. But I mean, that's been the case like for most of this I don't know. It's not a stream, so what the fuck? This call, I guess. I just say whatever the fuck comes to my mind, and I guess about that, like I didn't plan like to say anything. About that, I think it reminded me of like basically Snob again, basically just dabbing on the Code Geass fans, because obviously he shat on Code Geass as well because of like the stupid chess nonsense or whatever. You know the meme. And noodle people.
Colin's ass.
Yeah, and what the fuck is the point of all these ass shots? Like when it comes to Snob, like it's not like he cares about like that he's prudish or whatever. Like, for example, he doesn't have a problem with the fan service in Kill la Kill or whatever. Like he just doesn't want the fucking fan service to get in his way, because like as I said, he only cares about the writing. The funny thing, of course, is that he wrote a book himself, and it wasn't that good, to be honest.
To be fair, I will praise him on that. That like if someone is able to finish a book, because that's something I've never been able to do.
But he doesn't. But on the other hand, like he has said that like you shouldn't praise animators like just because like they're suffering or whatever. Like it doesn't matter like how much they suffer or how hard they are working. Like at the end of the day, the only thing that matters is the end result. So obviously, like all the people in the comments are kind of constantly shitting on him for it. But to his credit, like he hasn't still given up on it. Like he's like giving away free copies of it. Like if you email him, like he will send you like the story for free, so that to get feedback to improve it constantly and to publish it again. So and I think he's writing a second volume as well now. So I mean, but at the same time, he didn't like praise anyone for trying. So why the fuck should we praise him for trying as well?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll praise him when the novel, like he re-releases the novel and it's actually good. I actually tried to translate his fucking novel into Italian once because basically Snob is basically greedy. That's his nature. He's cheap and greedy, and like when I asked him like what if he could make a review like of Oregairu, like he was like, but why should I do it? What do I get from it? That's how he responds. You see, and I guess the only way like is either to give him money or something, which is why I offered to like fucking translate his novel. But then I'd never done fucking translation before that, except I did translate one George Orwell essay into Italian. That's it. And translating it, like, oh god, that was too fucking tedious. Just for a fucking 3 minute Oregairu review. Yeah, I'm not going to do this. I just stopped responding to him. He's like, where are you? So shit like that. But I mean, yeah, that's basically the basic nature of Snob. Like, there's this guy in the Discord server called what's his name, Botoru or whatever. He also came from that Anime Snob channel, and obviously he has like his profile picture is from Legend of the Galactic Heroes, because like that's basically the greatest anime of all time as far as that Anime Snob and his fans are concerned. And basically Botaru on a Discord server, like he's working on a project, on a visual novel multimedia project as well, and the only way to get him like to even talk about it with Snob, to listen to him, like was basically to pay him money. So that's Snob for you. I mean, he does have his charm points, but they're kind of hidden. By the way, what do you think of Legend of the Galactic Heroes?
I haven't seen it yet.
Oh.
It's one of those shows that I've been kind of putting off. I mean, I'm not exactly sure if I would like it per se, because I think a lot of the reason why people enjoy it so much is because of like the character writing and the political intrigue of it. And to that respect, I've seen stuff like you know, UC Gundam, 0079. I stopped at Zeta because I didn't like Zeta, and that might seem sacrilegious to say to like any Gundam fan to say that you didn't like Zeta, but I felt like I saw what it was doing and I saw why people would like it, but that's not really the type of thing that I personally enjoy within it. So I mean, I would probably be putting off Legend of the Galactic Heroes until either I reach a point where I'm able to appreciate that, or like probably I'm assuming maybe when I'm older I might appreciate that, or just to watch it with an open mind.
Yeah, I mean, it's much better than Gundam. I mean, my experience with Gundam is just limited to the original Gundam show, to Gundam, whatever the fuck, War in the Pocket, and the MS-8 theme. Have you watched any of those?
Yeah, I've seen all UC up until Zeta, so I've
Okay.
seen the side stories and stuff.
Yeah, I thought that they were all shit. So
I actually enjoyed the side stories.
Really?
like War in the Pocket, because it was pretty chill.
I
It
don't
was
know.
like it was kind of it was a little bit different from what you might see in original Gundam, but I think like perhaps the people who enjoyed the more political and the more like space opera type thing wouldn't find it enjoyable.
Yeah. I also watched Char's Counterattack. I didn't. I kind of skipped a bunch of shit to watch that, and it wasn't that
Yeah.
good either.
Yeah, I mean, I'm
yeah.
probably gonna. I'm probably gonna skip Double Zeta, because that's the show that like even Gundam fans are like, oh, the first half is shit, and I'm like, well, I didn't even like Zeta. Why the hell am I gonna sit down and watch this?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. When it comes to Gundam, I don't know. I just feel like let me say that Legend of the Galactic Heroes is much better. It's more like a space opera. I mean, I guess Gundam is a space opera too. So what the fuck?
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I can only like when it comes to the main Gundam thing. I guess there's only I can only speak of like the original series, and I don't know. I just kind of lost it like when that weird supernatural shit, like
New
people
types.
being a new type. I just couldn't get into that. As for Boy in the Pocket and 8MS team, I mean, 8MS team was okay. I mean, Love Across the Battlefield, something like that. And I mean, okay, it's all right. As for for the bloody Boy in the Pocket, I don't know. I just felt like, oh, what a tragedy! Boy is so bad, but uh, like let us show you the glory of Woe in every other fucking Gundam series. But now here we're going to say that Woe is so cruel or something, and it's so yeah.
I think I think Tomino's goal for Gundam was to be anti-war. And Zeta, that was the conclusion to Zeta. But like a lot of the thing is that a lot of the autistic otaku who are into Gundam in Japan, who are like obsessing about the real robot kind of stuff, they're kind of like fetishizing war, and like they cosplay as like Char and stuff, and like all
Yeah.
for Xeon, and it kind of seems it's like it's like missing the point, because the entire point of Zeta was what the fuck was his name? Camille. Like Camille, like he loses his mind at the end, and like through the process of being like dragged through this war, he wasn't really like he didn't really have a place in. So I don't know. It just seems like the whole fetishization of like the real robot stuff, and especially like a lot of the people, at least from what I think, is that a lot of people who are into Gundam like the Gunpla more. So like these people just they enjoy they enjoy the models and stuff more.
Is it a bit like Warhammer 40k? I don't know.
Yeah, kind of like that. I've built a couple of Gunpla. They're pretty fun, but like from what I understand, like I went to a Gundam panel at a convention one year, and it was like a lot of mostly like older people.
Yeah.
Mostly older people, and like everybody there was like talking about Gunpla.
Yeah, I mean,
So it's more about that.
Yeah, I mean, after Eva, like it's all about the anime girl figurines. I don't know if it's an improvement or a downgrade, but yeah, that is how it is. And I mean, as for the, I don't think that the fans are really misunderstanding anything. It's more like Tomino doesn't know how to write. Yeah, because basically all of them are showing the glory of Woe, and like when the audience like compares like these noble warriors fighting for their causes or whatever, and
It's admirable,
like yeah, it is admirable when compared to like the shitty meaningless lives which they are living or whatever as consumers or whatever. Like they live in the peace, like in the peaceful world, but it's shit. Like all the peace that those characters keep on talking about, like that is what they are living in, but it's not it's not what it's cracked out to be, I guess. Uh, so I don't particularly blame the fans or whatever. Though to be honest, I don't know. I just found both sides. I don't know. The characters are kind of autistic, really.
I mean,
That's,
that's kind
that's
of what new types are, but
I don't know. I mean, I don't know. I'm more. I guess so. Yeah. I just couldn't get into any of the politics, though. I mean,
yeah. I mean, I
it's
agree with your take on Gundam. I watched it because it was like I keep talking about the required watching for anime. That you should have like an understanding of this, but like in terms of actually enjoying it all that much, not really.
yeah. I mean, I should say the same about other required anime as well. I think Cowboy Bebop is like that as well, in my opinion. I don't. I think like the fans are like just it's just because of the music and like they think they're going to carry that weight or whatever.
Yeah,
At
'cause,
the end,
it's a lot about the production in that one. Like the
yeah,
whole like stoic. Not well, not Spike's not really that stoic, but like just the cool guy, the rule of cool, as they say.
yeah. I mean, I don't know. Was it even? I guess it was kind of. I guess. But I mean, I just I just watched it because like the character design for Spike kind of looked like Lupin. Have you watched any Lupin, by the way?
I've only seen Castle of Cagliostro. Cagliostro.
Yeah. I don't like Ghibli stuff that much. You should watch the original uh, first two Green Jacket series. Like it's really funny, really. So humorous. And
I used to know someone who was into Lupin and enjoyed it a lot. So I mean, I'll probably get around to it eventually.
yeah, Lupin was or Lupin as they say in Italy, because probably because of some copyright bullshit. I think it was spelled as rather than Lupin. It was spelled as Lupin, I think. Uh, because obviously, like it is basically Lupin is supposed to be like the grandchild of some fictional French uh, thief, master thief uh, called Lupin, and basically that Lupin was kind of famous as well. Like it came out like in a reaction to Sherlock, the Sherlock Holmes stories. Like so, it's pretty old. Anyway, who cares? What the fuck am I talking about this? Uh, anyway, what were we talking about before the Lupin? Was it
Uh,
Gundam or something
yeah, we
else?
were talking about Gundam, and before that was Legend of the Galactic Heroes.
Yeah, I think we talked something about something else in between. I can't remember what it was though. Uh, by the way, like, uh, what do you think of the conversation we have had thus far today?
Um, I think it's been a good a good discussion, throwing around some ideas.
Would you be open to like have more discussions on it
Yeah, I mean,
frequently?
yeah, I would see about that, but I don't necessarily like. I think it was pretty interesting and worthwhile, I guess.
Yeah, because
So you've converted me and dragged me here, so here we are. Are you still there?
Hello?
Okay. I'm
Hello?
not.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can hear you now. I'm not sure if you cut out or I cut out or.
I think, yeah, I didn't hear you speaking, so. Uh,
Where did I cut off?
I don't know. I think I was speaking. Anyway, it doesn't matter. Uh, I was talking about Angel's Egg and like on the 8, like about whether you were fine with talking on the 8 still.
Um, I would have to see because like I said, I was in the process of moving, so I'm not sure if like depending on other factors, I might be busy or I might not. But after that,
Yeah,
I probably will. You know.
good, good. Let's see. There's some more difficult to read comments by Dash. I've flirted with reaction, but I've never actually gotten into it. I guess he must be talking about being a reactionary or whatever. I like some aspirant stuff though. What the fuck is he talking about now? Like I like Kaczynski. Oh, must be talking about Uncle Ted. Any thoughts on Uncle Ted?
Um, Not sure who that is, so I don't have any
Uh,
thoughts.
Ted Kaczynski.
Not familiar. Sorry.
Okay. I don't know if you're lying, but it's fine. It's fine.
No, I usually live under a rock, so.
The Unaba guy or whatever. Anyway, the guy who wrote that manifesto or whatever about the industrial revolutions and its uh, consequences have been a mistake or something. Whatever. Who cares? That was just a response to Dash. Uh, yeah. Is there anything you? Okay, I guess Legend of the Galactic Heroes. How do I sell you on it? That's a bit hard.
I mean,
I guess.
I don't think you have to sell me on it. I already know it's gonna be this this epic space opera story that's gonna be great. I just
Yeah.
you know, just kind of waiting for a good
Yeah.
opportunity to watch it.
Let me like tell you a secret which most fans of Legend of the Galactic Heroes won't tell you. Like, I mean, the main reason is not these politics or whatever. It's just that the space battles look cool. Do you remember that episode in Harui, like where they were like
Yeah, yeah.
so that's basically it. That's why people like it.
That's the real reason.
Yeah, that's the real reason. Like all this stuff about politics or whatever, like about democracy or whatever. That's all just an excuse. Uh, because yeah, those battles look cool and make you feel kind of smart, but not really. Like when you get the strategies or whatever they use, but it's not really that smart. What else is there to say? Uh, what did you think of that episode? Did you like it?
The episode. I think
The,
all episodes of the 2006 Haruhi are perfect.
okay,
Almost.
I wouldn't go that far. I mean, I to be honest, maybe I was kind of too old by the point I watched Harui. Like I didn't watch it like when it was popular or whatever. I watched it a long time later. Is that the same for you, or did you? Yeah.
Yeah, I watched. Well, the first time I watched it, I was much younger. But it was when I was first getting really deep into anime. But like I rewatched it this past year, so like I don't think it's perhaps as good as I thought it was when I was like 15 or 16, but it's still pretty funny and
Yeah. I mean,
it holds up.
to be honest, it's one of those anime that like I kind of liked it for the concept more than the story itself. To be honest, uh, you must have noticed like the name of my Discord server after all, right?
Yeah, yeah.
I don't think anyone else has noticed, unfortunately, because Haruhi has been forgotten, sadly. Oh,
Yeah,
why did?
unfortunately, I think most people have started to pass it off as like this old thing. And like I hear people say like you know, a lot of the references for Haruhi and stuff, it was you had to be there kind of thing, which I don't really agree with, since like a lot of the things the show did was still unique was still like pretty cool at the time now. But I'm sure like being involved with like the whole forum stuff would have been like added.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, I see. Yeah, endless hate and whatever else. I guess that wasn't exactly the high point. But you know what I mean. Uh, I mean, as for how do we? Do you think that the blame? I've heard that there was some drama about the voice actress or whatever.
Oh
Not
yeah, I have a picture somewhere of Aya Hirano wearing a shirt that says "Did you come twice?" I or
Okay, is that it?
no, it was something to do with her supposedly sleeping with band members or something.
Bad
But
members.
I personally think it was Yamakan, the director. You know, and as well as like the 2009 series, just indulging in the endless eight, and even though that you could some people are able to justify as like, well, it makes the disappearance better. I think it ultimately killed a lot of interest for fans, and then Kyoto Animation started to shift away from this that style that they were doing, and now they do either like stuff like Maid Dragon or Violet Evergarden now.
Do you think that the light novel author himself has the author? Like I've heard that like he doesn't publish enough novels or whatever.
Yeah, didn't it take him like a decade to release the recent one?
Yeah, I heard that one came out recently. Yeah, I wonder what the hell he has been doing all this time. I guess working on that spin-off or whatever spin-off manga, which some people liked. I think that there was an anime as well.
Yeah, the disappearance of Nagato Yuki-chan.
Did you watch it? Read it?
Yeah, I've watched it. I didn't really like it too much.
Okay. Is it just an ordinary rom-com without
Basically,
like?
yeah. It's without the fun, and then by the time they start, like it reaches a point where they start trying to shoehorn in the SOS stuff again. But at that point, it didn't really. It was like too little, too late. And then also, like Nagato Yuki is a completely different character this time. And I think a lot of people like myself who enjoyed, or like it's just like liked her character of being this, like this I don't know, just autistic AI girl in the original series, and now that she has like emotions and is just kind of like this generic cute anime girl kind of thing. It definitely feels too much of a departure.
Let's see. I don't know. What did you like about the original?
I like that when you watch it in broadcast order, it's like each episode is its own thing, and you don't really know what's going to happen. And there's a lot of there's a lot of fun to be had within it. And like you mentioned, there's one episode where they just do like a Legend of the Galactic Heroes parody. Legend of the Galactic. Did I say that correctly? Yeah, Legend of the Galactic Heroes. And then there like when I first watched it, the first episode 00, is when their shitty student film. And when I first watched that, I enjoyed that first episode because I thought it was kind of ridiculous, and I wanted to know what happened with it. And I think that's probably why I enjoyed it so much, because I was able to enjoy the dumb stuff there.
Yeah. Speaking of Legend of the Galactic Heroes parody, that's a good one. The Irresponsible Captain Tyler. Pretty good.
I've been needing to watch that.
Unfortunately, the novels apparently sort of get serious.
There's this other show, Martian.
Oh yeah, I know.
I wasn't too fond on that. because it would and like really
Yeah,
serious.
and
I'm not sure. Yeah, I'm not sure if you made it.
Can't make any bloody sense. Anyway, as for Harui, uh, I didn't really. I felt like by the time I watched it, I was kind of too old for it. Like the idea of like weird shit happening, and like, oh, why doesn't something weird happen or whatever. Uh, Basically Kion, the self-insert character, and uh, do you remember that line from Durarara season 3 where the black guy uh, who always tags along with the bartender, the debt collector bartender, like said something uh, like after a while, like no matter how like I can't remember the bloody line, but after a while, like no matter how something is not ordinary, like uh, you will sort of it will become ordinary. So something like that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I haven't made it that far into Durarara,
Only
but
the first, yeah, only the first half of season 1 is good, by the way. Uh,
yeah.
yeah. You must probably know that. Uh, so that was basically my attitude, like when getting into it. So I guess the same as Keon's attitude, but I guess uh, I mean, like, what do you think the message of the anime was?
It's well, it's kind of like because Kyon is like trying to play this character of like nothing faces him, and he always has uh always has a witty remark for everything, kind of like how a lot of people like myself when they first watched it, like they're like a teenager and they think they know everything. And it's supposed to play that character, and but then like show the like what's actually happening around them is like interesting and stuff, and to kind of knock them down a few pegs from that, and like not necessarily. I mean, it kind of it doesn't really explain to people why they shouldn't act that way, because the way that Kyon was able to understand that they need to enjoy like the everyday life, like as he realized in the disappearance, was because he had a lot of supernatural bullshit happening around him, which obviously most people don't have. So I mean, I'm not sure if the message was able to get across, but if there even was such a message.
Yeah, really. I mean, to me, it seemed more like it was kind of making fun of Harui, to be honest. Like that seems to me like, or rather, not making fun of, but like showing that, like, I guess I kind of watched it more. I thought of it more in terms of uh, the perspective of Harui, I guess, because uh, like what was like the big revelation or whatever, like that she got like at the end of the first season, I guess. Um, like not really the end, you know what I mean? Like all
Yeah.
this all jumbled up, but like oh like what you really needed like was just an ordinary fucking romance or whatever, and a bunch of friends or whatever. That seemed to be like the sort of message directed at Harui, which in turn means sort of directed at the audience. Like,
Yeah.
do you get what I mean?
Yeah, I get what you're saying. Like when I first watched it, I was like, well, I was still in high school, and I was like, wow, it would be really cool to have a club that didn't do anything and got into weird antics and stuff. So, I mean, for someone at that age, it probably would have been a bit more influential on their life. Maybe people would have started their own SOS club and got into antics and stuff and found life interesting.
Yeah, that's not going to happen. But yeah, I
Yeah.
guess.
It would, but at the end of the day, they would just be trying to emulate what this show did.
Yeah, I mean, I guess, like, uh, I mean, I guess I guess both Harui, like what you said from Keon's perspective, is the same thing, uh, except for, like from because I guess like if Keon is sort of the cynical guy or whatever, like the cynical teenager who knows like everything about who thinks he knows about everything. I guess I haven't grown up that much uh, by that, uh, on the other hand, like you have Harui, who is like more of the romanticist, I guess. I don't know if that's the
Yeah.
right word. But don't you think that in the end both of them are proven wrong, both the cynic and the romanticist, and
I guess so.
that they're both taken a peg or two down.
Yeah, I guess it's advocating for that a quote unquote normal lifestyle more so than like either end of the spectrum.
Yeah, so like on like both the Chunibyo or whatever. I mean, I wouldn't exactly describe Arui as a Chunibyo, would you? Would you describe
Not
her? Not
not
really, not
really.
really. Yeah, not really. I guess, yeah, she's basically a bit too cool to be a Chunibyo. Um, I guess maybe I don't know. Uh, I kind of read a similar manga, by the way, called Sandom, if you have heard of it, by Okada something. I can't remember. Uh,
I don't think.
I have not read it.
What was it called?
Sandom,
Oh,
Sundo.
I've heard of it, but I haven't read it.
Yeah, I mean, it's basically just another normal propaganda uh, manga, but it was alright, yeah. And it sort of had it kind of reminded me some sort of the SOS brigade thing or whatever. Why do they call it brigade and club the same thing?
Well,
Is it some people?
In Japanese it's the SOS Dan, so it's more of a I guess it's more of a brigade, but I mean they're a club too.
Yeah, I mean, what I think Harui calls herself the president or the chairman or something. I can't remember. Fucking thing. It's been a while since I watched it.
Yeah, in
Oh,
Japanese she
what?
is dancho, which would just be brigade leader. So they might translate it differently in English.
Is it just her laughing or like is that a normal thing? Uh,
What do you mean?
like would the club president normally be referred to as Sancho or
Oh no,
whatever?
they wouldn't. They would be bucho, which is like because each club is would be like each club, for example, for example, like the archery club would be the kyudobu, which would be it's like archery, and then the appended kanji bu would indicates that it's a club. So the club leader would be a bucho, or like the club president. Cho
So
usually indicates that they're like a leader of something, like the president of a company might be like kaicho. So she's calling herself like dancho because she sees herself as the leader of a brigade, not necessarily a club.
so she's laughing. Okay.
Yeah, she's laughing.
Uh, yeah, I guess. I guess that's sort of why I kind of got a sort of Chunibyo sort of thing came to mind, even though she's not. Because like a Chunibyo like doesn't want doesn't necessarily desire for it to be real, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah. He just wants to laugh for its own sake. No shame in that, to a point. At least as long as not likeness to me.
Keep the LARPing in check.
Yeah. Shite. Oh gosh. By the way, is Craig down? I'm just asking just in case because that's how
Craig
it
still
is.
seems to be recording, so we're good.
Yeah. By the way, have you ever recorded calls like this before?
I have not.
Like what did you mean by like when you said one conversation, that you had one long conversation or something?
I used to
like,
be I used to be in like two servers. One of them was bigger, the other one was within a smaller group of people. And within the bigger one, there would be like voice chats all the time, and most of the time it was like people not talking. Occasionally, someone would say something retarded, and people would laugh at that, and then go back to what they were doing, kind of just like hanging out. The smaller one, I got into a voice chat with some of the other people in there, and it was just like us, like shooting the shit for a couple hours, not really talking about something specific. So I guess that's similar to
this.
a bit to this, yeah.
And you didn't record it or anything. Yeah, I think
No, we
that's
didn't.
sounds kind of like a waste to me. But that's because I've gotten into the content creator sort of a mentality now. It's all about
Everything's a video.
Yeah, everything needs to be about shitting out another video. Yeah, basically that's it. That's the mentality. Fuck. Anyway, about Harui, what did you make out of her? Like, you know, that monologue or whatever. Like, weren't you disappointed that Kion didn't say anything? Uh, you know that monologue about the fucking stadium. You must remember that.
The stadium.
Oh yeah, like when she said that, like her dad took her to the stadium and like there were like 6,000 people.
Oh, okay. And everybody was the same, and she felt life was meaningless or something like that.
Yeah. What did you make of that?
I wouldn't. I assume her the idea was like I guess it's kind of like the same type of existential crisis a lot of people have, in that like eventually you reach a point where you realize that like the headcanon, I guess, or like the type of thoughts that you have within your head aren't special, because there are like like not infinite, but like billions of other people who have the same exact thoughts. And if your existence feels somewhat inconsequential, if you don't have if you're not directing your energy towards anything else.
I mean, anything else other than what I didn't feel like like I like was what was she directing her attention towards there?
I don't think she realized what she was, or she didn't really know what she wanted to do, and that's why she was LARPing, trying to, I guess, like find meaning in like these supernatural things, because Haruhi assumed that everything in the real life was everything in real life and on Earth in Japan was worthless, because everybody else was experiencing the same thing. So she wanted to be a special snowflake.
Like let us say that she found that special thing or whatever.
And ironically, the special thing was something extremely ordinary.
Yeah, I guess so. Like, but suppose that she found something actually special. Do you think it would have made a difference?
Um,
Something actually unique.
I guess it's better to find something ordinary, because if she would have found something supernatural, then other people watching the show would assume that they would have to find that extraordinary thing that doesn't exist either, and they wouldn't be able to find that ever.
Yeah. I mean, I guess because of course she wasn't really ordinary, was she?
No,
Uh, uh, that's supposed to be the irony or whatever, but
yeah,
I don't know if that's how you use that word, but who cares? Uh, yeah, because like I constantly hear like that's not how you're supposed to use the word irony or some shit, and I don't know if it's the right word anyway. Anyway, the point which I was trying to make was I trying to make a point? Anyway, uh, I mean, I'm not talking about it from the perspective of the audience. I'm talking about it from her perspective within the story. Um, so like
oh yeah.
what if she had found something extraordinary? Like what would it, yeah.
In that sense, I guess it wouldn't have made a difference, because like to her, her special thing of like finding Kyon or whatever, um, and to her that's as extraordinary as the thing she probably was pursuing earlier. But throughout the story, like being knocked down a couple pegs, so to speak, she realized that they're both like on like an equal level, I guess.
Was it really convincing though that
No,
didn't it come out of nowhere that like oh the answer was Kyon all along or whatever? Uh, Sort of like I mean in Kyon's case, of course, like it's obvious that like rather than that boring shit in that rom-com alternative world, that Harui's world was obviously more interesting. But I didn't understand like when Kyon was making a choice, like I felt like what he chose wasn't like um, I'm not sure whether I mean whether like you were right that what he chose was like normality really, because if he wanted to have chosen normality, then he could have chosen to remain in that other world.
yeah,
uh,
that's true.
so to me like Kyon's choice, like it was just Kyon's choice, not our choice, if you get what I mean.
Yeah, I get what
uh,
you're saying.
and yeah, that was my feeling about that, which is why normally when I kind of I I looked at it more from the perspective of Harui, because I felt like her choice is more similar to our choice, I would say, somewhat. Not really, but you know what I mean.
Yeah, I kind of see where you're coming from.
Uh, so, yeah, do you have any comment?
No, I just I'm not sure if like what like I mean when I was watching Haruhi, I didn't necessarily think it was like it had this grand meaning or thematic through line or whatever. Like obviously it kind of did have a reason to be written, but I think a lot of people like me who enjoyed it simply enjoyed it just for the sake of the random antics it had. But it wasn't until you watch like the disappearance that it starts to bring to question certain things.
By the way, like, was that stadium scene in the original series or
I'm
in the
pretty sure.
film?
I'm assuming it was in 2006.
Yeah, yeah. I think that's I kind of like the anime mostly for that scene. It seemed to be kind of salient uh, because
You're cutting off.
yeah, I got a call from someone. That's why. podcast. Oh yeah, that. Oh yeah, you come or whatever. Yeah, that picture. Anyway, I'm almost back home now, so I would like to talk with you more, but it's 9.
Okay, we can wrap things up then.
Hello.
Yeah,
Sorry.
I'm still there.
Yeah, I got another call. By the way, so uh, is it okay if we call it a day?
Yeah, it's good.
I hope that I didn't bore you, like I wasn't just talking at you.
No. It was an
So
interesting discussion.
great. That's what I wanted it to be. So, like, if you get some free time, let me know so that we can record another one of these, and all for the content over there, and also we can agree on what to talk about earlier if you want.
Right.
Degenerate into this again. Anyway, so I mean, we can always discuss this stuff in the Discord. So bye. I don't know how to end this, Ben. Like, say
Just-
something.
yeah. That's all I have to say. I just
Yeah.
good talk, and until next time then.
Yeah. Bye then. God, could I be any more good?